Welcome to PTA episode 6, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Wait, let me try an intro.
We here. We the bestest. We here. The Des. PTA on ice.
On ice. On Broadway.
But no, anyways, I'm Cole. We got Luke here. We got the Buzzsaw there. We got some Super Bowl thoughts. I'm sure you are probably tired of hearing about Seattle, New England. We are too. We'll touch on it briefly, though. And then really after that, we got some draft stuff. We got free agency stuff and really kind of just dissecting all of that with it upcoming. But first things first, draft, boys. Or not draft. The Super Bowl, big game. Pretty shitty game. One of the most boring Super Bowls I've ever watched. What are y'all's takeaways here?
If this was a normal Sunday night game, I would have turned it off after the first quarter. That was such
I
a
would have just
shitty
been
game.
doom scrolling probably.
Yeah.
It was just utter dominance by the better team.
Yeah.
And that's really all it was for the entire game. I mean, the first three quarters were abysmal. I mean, the Patriots, I kept sending messages in our group text like, okay, this has got to be the drive they do something. Like, they're so due for a big play at some point, and it just never happened. The offensive line never held up. Finally, they got the big play, but it was after the A.J. Barner touchdown. So at that point, the game was pretty much over. It was a 3-possession game. I mean, at the end of the day, this was just the better team that was better coached, beating up on the worst team that team's coaches didn't do a good job, as good of a job. I mean, that's basically what it all was.
Yeah, I think this was like just a shitball performance by Josh McDaniels as well. And, I mean, obviously
100%.
Drake May. We talked about a little bit ago, but Will Campbell, they didn't help at all, really, most of the game. Left guard also got annihilated.
Yeah, the two rookies. That's what we talked about last
Drake-
week. We said they're both going
Drake
to
May
get
had
exposed.
no time in the pocket. And also, too, like, earlier in the game, they're trying to run the ball. It's not working at all. And then after that, they're taking these deep dropbacks and trying to get big rips.
Like,
over the
run
middle
with
of the field.
Drake.
Yeah, not running with Drake or not just taking the dink and dunk offense, which when they started actually moving the ball later in the game, they were just hitting, these short slants, the drags, the quick routes. I mean, early in the game,
even just stops.
yeah, little ease, just get them going. I mean, they weren't running any screens early on. They weren't running any quick hitters. They were trying to get these long developing plays going, and the O-line just couldn't hold up. I didn't really understand the play calling. And also, too, he never got cute with it, like we said. We never saw any trick plays. We never saw a flea flicker. We never saw, like out-of-the-box shit. And, like, I thought Josh McDaniels just got completely outworked by McDonald.
100%.
Yeah, he got out coached for sure. And then also, it's like you said, the one drive when they're finally getting going, Drake May just getting little rinky-dink shots here and there, little stops, little slants. And then he's like, you know what? 1st and 10, I'm going to just launch it downfield and throw a pick. Like, that was
a third down, the pick over the middle of the field.
I don't think that was third, but might be my bad. But I thought it was at least 1st or 2nd down. Because I remember seeing that, and I was like, you did not need to do that one bit. You needed like 8 yards. But then again, yeah, their offense was not in sync all game. They were just out. They were outmanned and outcoached. Like that, yeah.
And
Seattle was way more talented.
They gave up on the run, too. They gave up on it early, and like you said, Cole, they were just going back, saying Drake May take 8 steps deep into the pocket. Hopefully the O-line holds up, and we know it can't. I mean, they didn't do anything. I mean, Drake May played horrible. There's no way around it. Like, I'm not making excuses for Drake May. He was horrific. He's 23 years old. Like, the guy had, his high school prom 4 years ago. So, cut him a little slack. But he was horrible. But his coaching and his teammates did not help him one bit. But, I mean, I think that goes back to the Patriots' entire path. This entire season, they played the easiest schedule. The Patriots, I think what this Super Bowl really showed, Patriots shouldn't have been here. This should have been Denver. This should have been Denver with Bo Nix. Should have been Houston. I think if this was Houston, Seattle, it would have been an awesome game. It would have just been 2 awesome defenses going at it. Or this should have been
Buffalo or Denver,
Buffalo, or if the Ravens didn't have a year from hell or the Chiefs didn't have a year from hell, it would have been them. Like, the New England shouldn't have gotten here. They got here because of a super easy schedule, and all of the powerhouses in the conference just kind of nosedived this year. And so this is what you ended up with. And, like, I think I was hearing people talk about it today. I think New England's kind of still in part of their rebuild. They still have an offensive line to figure out. They have no weapons. Like, they still have a lot of holes on their team. And they're going up against the Seattle team that has literally none.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's their weak spot? Wide receiver 2, and it's Cooper Kupp. I mean, like they have no weak spots, and New England has weak spots all over the place.
No, and by the way, it was on first down when he threw that pick.
Oh,
they're at Seattle's 44, so they were right at midfield.
Yeah.
Like, just keep doing what you're doing. You got halfway down the field, but it's also like they played 3 really good defenses on their way to facing Seattle. I know Seattle's a little bit maybe above them, maybe even or slightly less than the Texans, but it's like you think they learned their lesson along the way of okay. We can't do this versus these teams. We can't do that. We got to find a way to. I mean, they have a lot of explosive players. They got to find a way to get them the ball in space, and they just didn't do that in the entire playoff run. Like,
you know what it almost seemed like watching their play calling, and especially how they were calling defense in the first quarter and a half. They were having all their corners sit on routes, and they were jumping routes. It was almost like they were trying to implement the game plan they used against Stroud, Herbert, and Stidham, and just say our defense is going to make a play, they're going to get a pick, and they're going to put us in a good spot. And Darnold didn't let it happen.
Yeah,
and I think that's a credit to Darnold.
That was what Coward said. He was like, the defense has to make a play right now because the offense literally can't do anything.
Their defense was great, and that's what we talked about last week. Where like they can't play this game like they played the previous games and rely on the running game, the defense. Like they had to go out of the ball, and they just didn't.
No,
they tried to run the same shit in Denver and Houston, and I was curious too, like if Drake May would look the same because those games where the weather was so fucking bad, and I thought he would look a little. He didn't look any better. So I mean,
he looked worse.
Yeah,
he looked worse. Yeah,
like second MVP voting, great year, but like he's like you said, he's 23, had his prom a few years ago. Like he's still got a lot of room to grow.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna be fine. I mean, they way overshot their hand here.
It should be a huge learning lesson for him and Will Campbell.
Oh yeah, well, and Will Campbell need to kick to guard.
Yeah, he needs
for
to
Will Campbell. It's like, do you want to be like a mediocre left tackle,
can't reach,
or do you want to be an All-Pro guard? Like, I don't think that's even a question. Go draft a tackle, kick him into guard, and he's still a part of the team for the next 10 seasons. But I just can't understand Josh McDaniels. I thought it was like more on him too. It's like you got a second-year QB, you got to help him out, and obviously the weapons couldn't create any separation out there. I mean, some of those routes, like some of those plays, there was one play. I think it was to Booty on the left boundary. I think he had like Joby on him too, like their third guy. It was like a little like comeback
route. That guy was a
route,
menace last night.
and he blanketed him so bad. By the time the ball got to Booty, he was literally out of bounds trying to fight off Joby from out of bounds.
Yeah,
he boxed. It was like these guys,
Dude.
like it was the JV varsity.
Yeah,
like,
it was a total talent.
Job or Joby, he had himself a game last night.
Oh
for
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. He almost got a bad penalty, but luckily he didn't get it.
And
I think he was on that play actually.
Gonzo, man,
dude, he's a
Gonzo.
He's a stud.
He's the reason they stayed in that fucking
yeah.
game.
Oh god, if it wasn't for him, they would have been down 30-0.
I mean, yeah, the
third quarter.
play, he dives out, deflection, then the JSN one in the end. I mean, that's 10, 11 points there that swings the other way if he doesn't make those plays. And all of a sudden, I mean, the game was 29-13, but I mean, it was probably more like a 35-10 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it was 19-0 with like 10 minutes like 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. I mean, the game was over.
Dude, and also like back to Will Campbell, that's gotta suck as like a Patriots just fan, whatever, and anyone in the organization, whatever. You're like, man, this guy's gonna be solid, tackle for the next 15 years, whatever, and then you get to the playoffs and his arms are just too damn short to block anybody. And like that's not like a quickness thing, it's literally a physical attribute. Like, well, we drafted this guy 4th overall and now we have to put him at guard. Like he could be a generational guard, but it's a way different position and you don't know that. So
I saw something today that I think he gave up. I think now if you include regular season and postseason, he gave up like 8.5 sacks or something on the year, which is horrible.
That's really bad.
It was like 7 of them were against players with an arm reach of over a certain amount, and it was some inch mark.
Teams are literally just going to scheme against him.
But all 3 of the Seattle ends he was going against all had super long wingspans, and they crushed him. And like everyone kind of made the joke, like the small hands joke with quarterbacks. It was like, does it matter? Does it not matter?
T-Rex
some
arms.
people really care, and like some people think it's not a big deal. Clearly, it's a big deal, and like the stats show it this year when he was going up against good DNs with longer wingspans, they torched him.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I think that was something they used to say about Zach Martin is he could be an insane tackle, but he just has shorter arms. And so they're like, he played guard in college, leave him at guard, and I mean he's all going to be a Hall of Famer. But yeah, Will Campbell's got a lot of learning. He's got a big offseason ahead of him.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, I think you kick him into guard. Worst case, he's a 2-time Pro Bowler probably. Like, I mean, he should be good.
No, but yeah, it's like Luke just said. They're like, if they don't kick him in, teams are literally just going to take their edge rushers with the long arms and just put them on, rotate them out.
Yeah,
every play.
I would be genuinely shocked if he was the starting left tackle on opening day next year.
100%. He'll be their starting guard next year.
Yeah.
You think they're regretting that pick? You think they wish they took like Mimbao right now?
No, I don't think that you could regret anything if you're them. The fact you made it to the Super Bowl this year, like, I mean, completely ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
It's a great year for them.
I was going to put them on my trades for Maxx Crosby, but I was like, they have way too many holes to be trading picks right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot to fill out on the offense.
Yeah, and in Seattle, they just got to keep this core together, try to pay everyone until they can't anymore, because that team, it's like the Eagles last year. It's not anymore like the best quarterbacks winning it all for you. It's just about having the best roster, like the last 2 years, and then it's mainly defensive too, more than offense. That's just running the show.
It's having a good GM, man, that can run the show.
Yeah,
last 2 years, Howie Roseman, John Schneider, two best GMs in football.
Yep.
Best moves, and you see it come to fruition. And drafting well, signing good guys for bargain bin deals. It's the whole thing.
There was a time there where people were not liking John Lynch, right, in Seattle.
John Schneider,
my bad. They weren't good for like 8 years, and he was kind of on the hot seat. But
there was
clearly Gino wasn't helping too much with that.
He's been good forever. They got him, I believe, like right before Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
And he got the Legion of Boom team, obviously. Then that flared out. But then, I mean, even when they had Gino and they were transitioning from Russ before they got Sam and stuff, the teams were still good. Like, he was drafting.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at his last 5 drafts, I mean, he's been lights out. They've been good at drafting since they've had
even those Legion of Boom teams, like Cam Chancellor retired early. Earl Thomas went insane, got CTE too early, and then they sold off Russ at the right time. So, yeah, I mean, he made the right moves there, too.
Well, there was a power struggle between Pete and John Schneider, too. That's why eventually Pete left. There was a big power struggle between them. Thank God for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
John Schneider won that.
If they picked Pete
Christ, man. They would be in a world of hurt. Jesus.
Just chewing gum in every meeting.
Oh, my God. Yeah, talk about, a ripple effect.
Yeah, talk about a good call by their owner.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, now they're selling the team.
Yeah.
We got any other finishing notes? Super Bowl, anything?
I mean, it seemed like, the Pats' plan was just to eliminate JSN from the game, but Kenneth Walker went nuts.
Walker looked like a stud.
He's about to make a lot of money in free agency.
Yeah. He looked like a stud.
Yeah, I think they got to bring him back.
I think they do
With
too.
Charbonnet's injury for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well let's just hop right into the free agents here. Talking about Kenneth Walker, but so we're gonna go over the top 15 free agents according to ESPN. We're gonna just give kind of our thoughts on where they could potentially go. Fits, all that stuff. But first man up, ESPN's got Trey Hendrickson ranked as the #1 free agent on the board. I got him going to Baltimore. The team was 31st in sacks last year. Jesse Minter, you hired a defensive guy, give him some help on the pass rush. They already got, Kyle Hamilton in the secondary. They got other pieces, but their pass rush is terrible. I know they got some other needs, and Linderbaum's going to be a free agent, but if you're bringing in a guy like Minter, go get him some help. Go get a guy that can actually get after the quarterback, because if this team is near the bottom in pressures and sacks again, they're not going to get anywhere. I don't care how good Lamar plays. So especially in the AFC, you got to have dogs that can go get those QBs. So I like them all at Baltimore.
I like them a lot with the Commanders. I think the Commanders are obviously they came into the year riding a huge high. They've completely faltered this year and had a horrible season, but you still got Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract. They have $76 million in cap space, and they do not have a lot of talent on that defense. And Dan Quinn, obviously, being a defensive guy, needs some players on that defense, because if Jaden Daniels is healthy, Debo comes back, and you've got McLaurin, your offense is going to be just fine. That defense was horrible. I would love to see them front load a contract to where you're guaranteeing most of the money in the first 2 years. You're leaving. You probably sign him to a 4-year deal, but you leave that 3rd and 4th year with mostly non-guaranteed money, and you go spend the money now while you've got Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract, and you try to get back to the 12 wins you had a year before this. I would love to see him with the Commanders. I think it'd be a great move for them.
So is this more who I want or I think he's going to go to?
Just whatever you. I mean,
I personally think he's going to go to a team that's
some realistic though.
Yeah, that's shittier with a lot more cap space because I think he's going to be a guy that's like a pivot for a lot of teams that can't get Maxx Crosby. But so I could even see personally, I'm going to say the Raiders. I see the Raiders trading Maxx Crosby this offseason, obviously, and then I can see them using half the money because Maxx makes a lot to go get Trey Hendrickson to fill a big old hole in their defense. Granted, Hendrickson only played 6 games this year, and I don't think he was super effective in those games. But, I mean, they need some kind of leadership on that defense, especially with an offensive-minded young coach coming in. Whoever the DC is going to be needs help commanding the room and just gaining respect and everything, and I think Hendrickson's a great start. So I think I'd go with the Las Vegas Raiders if they trade Maxx Crosby.
Okay. Second name up, we got George Pickens. Now, Dallas has already stated they're going to put the tag on him. But so I guess this is more of kind of just what are our thoughts here? Because this could go a lot of ways, right? Pickens, either A, he could accept the tag at $28 million, play the season out, try to go re-up again. B, he might say fuck that and reject the tag, and then we have a holdout on our hands. Or C, we could look at a potential sign and trade situation where Dallas is hey, we can go get some draft capital. Maybe we get this. Because DK Metcalf last offseason got $33 million.
Yeah.
He's gonna want at least DK Metcalf money in my mind.
Okay,
he deserves it.
And here's my thinking of it. So whenever Jay Glazer, he's really hooked in with all the GMs, especially the Cowboys, the Joneses, and they asked him about this. They said, "Do you think George Pickens is going to get traded, or do you think they're going to re-sign him and he's going to play on the Cowboys next year?" He literally paused for 10 seconds before he could answer the question. I think there's way too many wide receiver needy teams. There are so many young quarterbacks that are in need of a wide receiver one, and I think almost every single one of those teams, unless they're a top 5 pick, is going to be willing to give up their first round pick for George Pickens because he is in all like I said, the Titans, the Raiders, not the Jets, but a lot of these teams, the Patriots, they really, really need a wide receiver one. Imagine if they had George Pickens that could take away half the attention of the secondary, that game. That would have been huge for them. And I think he would just I honestly think the Cowboys are going to be able to trade him for a first-round pick and more. So I don't think – and it's like Micah. Last year Micah was Jerry's favorite, and then it just turned dark so quick because it's all about money, and it's a business. And I think, the Cowboys players like CD and Dak – sorry, I'm talking so much – I've read a lot on this, but they're saying they love him, they'll take a pay cut for him. But when does a player actually take a pay cut for someone else, especially at their own position? I think they're going to trade him to a team like the Titans or the Raiders, someone that really needs a wide receiver one for the development of their quarterback. Even the Bills.
I got the team for this. It's the Raiders.
Yep,
it's the Raiders.
They're going to trade
first
Maxx
pick in the second round. And then a 4th round pick.
And Maxx.
You get the 33rd overall pick. You've got
Maxx.
I have a trade.
Well, Maxx
I have a
great,
trade up. It's Maxx for George Pickens and a first round pick.
Dude, they're not giving us Maxx and a first round pick.
No, we give them a first round pick.
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
I don't know if they. But okay, first off,
Interesting
now
though, right?
I don't know if George Pickens in Las Vegas works.
Probably not, dude.
But if you can make it work, obviously you're going to take Mendoza 1. You've got Brock Bowers. You've got Ashton Genty. They're 2 of the most talented players at their position. You've got a new offensive head coach. You have no wide receivers. You got a young quarterback. You have over $90 million in cap space. I think it makes total sense for the Raiders. You go then get your number 1. You've got arguably the best tight end in the league. You've got arguably the most talented running back in the league. And now we've got a bona fide number 1 at the receiver spot to bring in a quarterback for with an offensive coach that runs a Kubiak-Shanahan offense. That just that to me is perfect. And it makes sense for the Cowboys. You get the 33rd pick in the draft, pick up another 4th round pick after that. I think it makes a ton of sense for both sides.
They're going to get at least a first and then a 3rd or something. So because you got to think about too how valuable that 5th-year option is for any player except maybe a running back. I think they're going to want a first-round pick for him.
Yeah, but I think if it's the 33rd pick,
I think they'll get it. But my thing, we could talk about suitors all day. There's so many teams with young QBs that need receivers. But for me, if I'm Dallas, dude, if I could, walk out of this and say we gave up a 3rd for George Pickens, got 1 year rental of him, balled the fuck out, offense explosive, and then flipped him for a first. Talk
Gold.
about a home run, just acquisition, just
Gold.
trade. Like,
Yeah.
how about just buy low, sell high?
And it's
you
like-
can't do much better.
Yeah, you
No, it's
know,
gold.
and like people will argue, they'll say, "Well, then what are you using all that Micah money for if you're not going to pay George with it?" It's
Well, the
like we have a
team-
lot of holes.
Yeah, and
like,
I
there's a
think
lot of
too,
holes,
like,
especially on defense.
I think it's just kind of dumb to like look at it and be like, oh, like you got George for the 3rd round pick. Let's sign George to this monster deal. Like this team has too many fucking needs to go sign George to a big deal,
Yeah.
and so you want to make shrewd, smart moves, and you want to show you're a smart, logical team. This is a move you make. This is like a high IQ move is to get them, trade them, go draft again.
Yeah, bite
lower
the
the
bullet.
cap, build your defense more. You traded Micah, but if you trade Micah, then just to go pay a secondary receiver top, 5 money. That there's
You're the
that-
Bengals.
Yeah, that's you're not
Yeah,
extending.
it's
your
like,
knowledge.
oh
You're just-
man, you paid him
you're
10
going-
million less than Micah. What are you going to get with
Yeah,
that?
you're made a good move doing it, and now capitalize on the move and go get a stud, hopefully on a rookie contract.
What about
Yeah,
the Seahawks?
I could definitely see the Cowboys.
I don't like it. I think Seattle. The thing is, they already work how they are right now, and if they go do that, they have so many contracts coming up to where I feel like they could potentially fracture their roster paying this guy this much more.
I agree.
Shaheed,
They
too.
got a lot of money.
I think Shaheed though too, like he's gonna grow and he's
They're
gonna
gonna have to
get a
pay-
full
Sure.
offseason
They're
with the
going to have
team,
to
too.
pay Woolen.
Yeah, a
Tariq
lot
Woolen.
of their defenders are coming up, and then JSN
Yeah.
next year is going to come up. Kenneth Walker, they got to.
Darnold's only on a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, after this, hell, we might see Darnold extension talks halfway through next season. So
Yeah.
they do have a lot
they,
of cap,
they have a
but
lot of
they-
money, dude.
They
Yeah.
have so many people. that
Like
have
the only
potentially come
guy
up.
they've extended, I think, is Charles Cross.
Yeah. All right, third man up here, we got Tyler Linderbaum.
I think the Ravens need to keep him.
The Ravens probably should keep him. The Ravens got a lot of weird shit going on. But so, few teams I found here that I would love. So, first team, Chargers.
Yeah.
If you could, we saw the O-line just shatter their hurt. But if you could walk into next season, so we got Slater, Alt, and Linderbaum, all healthy and right, all of a sudden we might go from the worst offensive line to arguably the best in the league. Like, just like
100%.
that with this guy and getting your 2 studs back. Run the ball, protect Herbert. I mean, and Chargers as well, I think, are top 3 in cap space.
83 million.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money to play with. And then also a second team I had was the Giants.
That's my team.
They're only at $7 million, surprisingly, in cap space. I'm sure
they have
there's
a lot. They actually have a lot of good players, and they're all like past their rookie contract.
Yeah, there's a lot of moves they can make out there, but I mean, this one is just get Jackson Dart some help. Tyler Linderbaum's one of the best there.
Yeah, reunite him with Harbaugh. It seems like he's going to know what Harbaugh kind of wants to run in the offense, and he
Yeah.
can kind of be a leader on the offensive side.
And they've said right now the Giants are like pursuing him heavy, so
Yeah.
they're currently like
I
probably the front
would
runner.
think they're the favorite because, like what familiarity does he have with the Ravens? I guess the roster, but it's not like the front office.
Harbaugh, it makes sense.
He
know?
just seems like a Harbaugh guy.
Yeah, I could see him on the Giants. Like he
Me
just makes
too.
sense on the Giants.
Because I know too, I'd be pissed if they signed him. That's why I know it would
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
I think if I'm the Bengals, I'm going all in on Linderbaum. I mean, you've been trying to fix your offensive line forever. You still have a ton of cap space. Like, you're one of the cheapest franchises. Mike Brown probably won't pay for him. But
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
They're not gonna pay
they're not going to
for
pay
him.
for him. But like, if a normal person was running the Bengals with a normal ownership group, you have $54 million. Go get one of the best interior offensive linemen in the league. Pay him what you need to, and help fix that offensive line that's getting Burrow killed every year. I mean, you've got the money to do it. You don't have to spend a ton for an interior offensive lineman. I think that move makes a ton of sense for Cincinnati if they can pull it off. But they probably won't because they never pull it off.
Yep, ever since '99.
Yeah, they're hard to even put in any of these just because they're not going to do anything.
What about the Rams? Rams have a ton of money.
Their center, I don't quote me on who he is. I think he's pretty decent.
Their line's been just fine. Yeah, I think if anything, I could see the Rams going for like Hendrickson or Maxx Crosby. Like,
Yeah.
do you know them? Like, they like to swing big.
Yeah, I mean, I think Linderbaum, like, there's a lot. I mean, he's a great center. I mean, I think, again, like we're saying with some of these receivers, like Titans, Raiders, like any of these teams with a young QB and cap, it wouldn't hurt to go get him either.
Yeah, like
So-
I like if again, like we just like if I'm the Raiders or the Titans, I'm giving him whatever he frickin' wants.
Yeah, if
Like,
you're the Raiders or Titans, you have all this cap. You got a young
Yeah,
QB. You'll get him
100%.
some.
solidify
But,
the interior. Yeah.
Commanders, too.
Yeah.
Be great for
Next
them.
man up, we got
Biatch.
Danny Dimes. So I think honestly, A reunion with
Yeah.
Indy makes the most sense, even if you go draft a QB, which you probably won't this QB class. So maybe get Ty Simpson in the second round or something. You could probably get Dimes on a cheaper deal since he's coming off the Achilles. We saw the first half. I mean, he was great. The team was great. But besides Indy, which makes the most sense, Minnesota, I think, could be a sneaky play. They got 26 mil in cap room, but I mean, if you're Minnesota, you got to go get a quarterback. I mean, I think that's clear as day. And they had him. The funny part, they had him last year.
I think those are the two spots. Yeah, because like the Colts gave up a lot of their future in the Sauce Gardner trade because of what they thought they had in Danny before he got hurt. Danny Dimes, Daniel. And then like the Vikings, they probably have the worst question mark in the league because it's like their whole entire roster besides quarterback and running back is insanely set. But then that whole backfield is just an anomaly.
My bad. Vikings do not have 26 in cap. They're negative 40.
Yeah, Vikings have no.
Wrong read there.
Yeah, so I think
Minnesota's got to tweak some shit if they want to bring him in.
It just feels so natural and right for him to go back to the Colts. But I'll put a dark horse in there. I could totally see him signing with the Steelers.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I could see it too. What about the?
That would be so bad.
That was the one I was gonna say.
If Rodgers retires,
what about
McCarthy?
What about the Rams? What about the Rams? You go get a Stafford backup plan.
I think he'd be too expensive.
Maybe, but I mean they've got a ton of money. Like depending on how they spend it, like you're gonna have Stafford coming off the books within the next 2 years.
Yeah, but is he a back? Is he a potential successor? Like,
no,
I don't think.
I mean, that's how you'd view it.
Well, it's also
I don't think he's that at
it's
this
like
point,
you said.
Though. I know he played good last year, but like,
I don't know, man. I mean, we saw it with Darnold.
Well, he's gonna get at least. Justin Fields got $20 million a year last year.
Yeah,
he's gonna get more than that.
The Jets are retarded.
If I'm Les Snead, I'm saying I got Stafford 2 more years. I'm going all in. I'm spending this money on defense. I guess maybe a lineman or whatever.
And then depends on maybe draft a quarterback in like the 1st through 3rd if you.
I think if you're doing that route, I think you're better off drafting because I mean Stafford's he's been healthy
because the salary,
the last few years. He's been relatively healthy too. So like I mean, odds are there's a good shot if you do that, you pay him 2 for $20 and he doesn't play a game for you. So
yeah, and I also think
that you're wasting good cap space.
I think McVay and staff are smart enough to like draft a quarterback and then be able to figure out if they like him or not before he even steps foot on the field.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather them go get like Anthony Richardson. I mean, not him, but a guy like that. You know,
maybe he'd be perfect.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind
he
that.
gets hurt for freaking picking his nose.
Depending on the money, I mean, we know that they've been looking at a quarterback backup plan for a long time. Like they were always rumored to go get quarterbacks. I think it'd be a good spot for him to learn behind for a year if they had the money to do it. Like if they got through free agency and were like, all right, we still have $15 million and they could make it work. I wouldn't mind that at all.
But the thing is, even if you do that though, and you sign him 1 year, $15 million, IQ wise, it would be great for him. But then you're looking at another Darnold situation with the San Fran, and then someone else signs Danny, and then they could reap the benefits.
You would have to have a conversation with Stafford. Like, what's the timeline here? Like, if the timeline's 1 year, I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
If Stafford's undecided, then you go all in.
I think he definitely goes back to Indy, though.
I do too. Indy's the best spot.
Or the Steelers. That one would just be too perfect for chaos.
That could. I mean, that would be a total Pittsburgh move.
Oh, 100%.
That makes too much.
Their GM,
Pittsburgh actually.
Their GM's probably been there as long as Mike Brown and the Bengals.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? All right, number 5 on this list, we got Jalen Phillips. This guy, Philly traded for him last season. He only had 5 sacks, but he was 9th in the league in pressures. He's a young edge rusher. He's got a ton of talent. He's probably going to be good for a while. I think he's a lot better than the stats show. I mean, this guy obviously caused havoc. I got Tennessee and Las Vegas. This just every year there's guys that are young and kind of upcoming but haven't really fully broken out yet. This just feels like a classic overpay of the 2 top shittiest teams. They're going to pay him probably more money than he deserves and probably a decent chance he doesn't live up to that billing. But in my mind, I think it's Tennessee or Las Vegas. They're talent deprived. They have all the cap in the world. Or Washington, maybe. He just feels like a classic overpay that one of these guys are going to go get in my mind.
I think he's going to go to a better – I think he went from the Dolphins to the Eagles, and I think he really wants to play for a competitive team.
I think he wants money.
I
think he wants money.
Who doesn't, right?
But,
I
mean, what do
so
we don't know
I'm just
anything,
also
but-
I'm trying to take a different route than you did, you know. So
Talk to his agent about money.
And guys around the league,
the insiders,
he
the insiders
wants
tell
the
me.
bag. Okay?
Yeah.
No,
he
but,
just bought a condo in the hills.
I'll say one team that's semi and then one team that's very competitive. I could see him going to the Cowboys because Cowboys just signed Christian Parker, the old Eagles secondary coach, as their DC. I could, just having a connection there, finding a guy because the Cowboys also have a big need at edge opposite of Ezeraku. And then the other one is I could see him going to Seattle and signing with the Seahawks. Just like a 2-year deal, get your money, get a ring or two. And then because his main problem has been health, and if he's just playing in a rotational pass rush with all these guys in Seattle, he's going to shine because he's going to be going against O tackles that are just worn off their ass. And then
If you're Seattle, though, are you wanting to shell out that big of money to a rotational guy?
If it's 1 or 2 years,
I mean, but
depends on
this
the
guy's-
price.
I think this guy's going to command a long-term giant contract.
If that's the case,
he's the top
Seattle's out of the
defender.
he's had
He's-
bad injury problems though.
I mean, they got him ranked as the top defender or behind Trey Hendrickson.
because when he's on the
one of
field,
the
he's
best-
amazing.
Yeah,
but
I
when
mean,
he's never on the field,
I mean, Hendrickson's an older guy, right? But I mean, if you're talking about just like an ideal, attractive, like young defender, he's the guy. He's like 26 in his prime. Like
it just
I mean,
seems like
he's
guys like
gonna
this.
go.
A lot of like, it seems like the good teams always find a way to shell out the money for a guy like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could
And
see
then-
the Pats too.
Pats,
I really
yeah,
like this,
Pats.
but you're right, Cole. It depends on the price. Like if the Titans or the Raiders are coming in with a 4-year, $100 million offer, the good teams are out. They're all going to be out because they're not gonna strap themselves to a 4-year deal. It all depends on what his market's going to be. But if his market is a 2-year, $40-ish million deal, I love Seattle, the Rams, or the Patriots, and put him in, like you said, Luke, as a rotational pass rusher to get after the quarterback and like spelling almost the DNs they have. I think it'd be perfect for them. But again, it's going to depend on the money he commands.
Yeah, 'cause-
if he commands a huge contract, they're out of the
Yeah,
picture because they're too smart. They're not gonna lock themselves in.
And it's like Seattle's the big dog now. They got to find a way to change their game and have a little X factor. I think he'd be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, his high end projection is 3 for 80. The mid range is 3 for 52. So
3 for 52 works.
Yeah,
That works for Seattle.
I just feel like he's
yeah.
gonna get paid a lot. He just seems like
Okay,
the guy.
That seems like cheap.
The other thing is, if you're Seattle, the Rams, or the Patriots, and let's say it is 3 for 52 or whatever,
Yeah,
you
then I
front
like
load the shit out of that contract. You make all the guarantees in the first 2 years, and then you cut him. If he's really a cap casualty after 2 years, who cares?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
have the
but-
first year be guaranteed fully.
Because
and
mean,
sign
you're
this
him
not
back.
guy-
paying anybody.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, yeah, if you're one of those stud teams and you can get him on that deal, yeah, by all
Yeah.
means. But
And,
I mean,
and every team's going to front load that contract with the guarantees
Yeah.
up front. So like, remember that was the Darnold deal last year, where it was like it was actually really only a 1 year, like $35 million contract, and it was like we'll see how the first year goes, and if
Yeah.
it doesn't go well, we can get out of it. They can structure a deal like that the same way. Obviously, with Darnold, it worked out perfectly, but like you can structure the same deal like that to where if you're the Rams and shit hits the fan and you need money, you cut him.
Yeah,
You're good.
He's also like every team needs edges, so like I could see him even going like the Panthers or the Cardinals or something. He's a wild card.
all right, and then pretty much the offensive counterpart of him, Alex Pierce, free agency destinations. Few teams on here. So just real quick.
I
so
love him.
Precursor on this guy. He's 25, fast as shit. We all know. He's led the league in yards per catch the last 2 seasons. He's the first player since A.J. Brown to have over 1,000 yards on at least 20 yards per catch. I mean, this guy has kind of been like tucked away in Indy with all the weapons they have there.
He was a stud
I
at
mean,
Cincinnati. He was a little bearcat.
This guy, you watch him, the eye test doesn't lie. He's giant. He's fast as shit. He could burn you deep. He's arguably the best deep route guy in the league. He's got hands. I mean, this guy's kind of waiting to explode. But a few guys here I got for him. I got Washington as one. They got all the cap in the world. Jaden Daniels on his rookie deal. They've said they want to get younger. If you can, he would be great to pair with Terry and Debo. I mean, they need a really deep vertical threat. He would fit that bill perfectly.
I feel like they have bigger needs though than
You're
receiver.
you're gonna pay a third receiver 15,
'Cause the other-
20 million.
Yeah, they would have like 80 million in their receiver room at that point.
Yeah, that's what. And then Tennessee and Vegas. And again, it's
100%.
the young
Yeah, one of
quarterbacks.
those two.
Get him some help. And
Tennessee. I like him because with Cam and throwing the deep ball, I think he'd be great in Tennessee.
He seems like the poster boy for who's going to get overpaid the most this year is Alec Pierce. I don't think Alec Pierce is a bad player by any means. I don't think he can. I don't even know if he can be like the number 2 on a really good.
I think he could be the 2.
Even in Indianapolis, it's not like Josh Downs is some world beater. Josh Downs is the number 2. I know Pierce was great.
I mean,
but
Pierce put up better
numbers.
yards for him this past year.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure Downs was listed as the number. Pierce is
It's
a
not
fine
the role.
receiver.
It's all about the role.
Pierce was their number 2.
He seems like the kind of guy that's going to go get a 4-year, $100 million contract for the Titans, and he's going to suck.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
he had 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's gotten better every year too, and I mean, it's not like the guy's played with good quarterbacks either.
No,
and it's been a run-first offense too. He's talking about efficiency numbers. This guy has made it count efficiency-wise for sure.
He just seems like the guy that we're going to be looking back a year from now and being like, that was a crap.
He's boomer bust. He is boomer bust.
All right, my team is going to be the Denver Broncos. Broncos seem to love receivers that can be deep threats. They have the cap space, and they have a need at wide receiver. And, I mean, he's been playing the AFC. He's been competitive. He's been a guy that's always, even when he was a Bearcat at Cincinnati, they were literally in the national Bearcat. They were in the they were in the national championship or the playoffs, right? And freaking Desmond Ridder was not very good, but he's been a stud always, and he just seems like a winner. I could definitely see him going to the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean he might be a complete flop, but
yeah,
I think
he's gonna.
Free
flop.
agency is such a crapshoot, right? Odds are he probably will be a bad contract, but I mean when you're the Raiders and Titans, you kind of just gotta sometimes fucking whip your dick out and go for it. All right, let's take a break. All right, we're back. Next man up, hot name on the market, Breece Hall. Where do y'all want him to go?
Chiefs.
Ooh.
They need I'm saying Chiefs. The Chiefs need a running back so desperately. They've been running Clyde Edwards-Helaire out there, and then the corpse of Kareem Hunt, who literally assaulted someone on their team and somehow made his way back. They really are dying for a running back. But I just don't know if they would shell out the money for it because they seem to like to go the cheap route back there. But they need to find a playmaker somewhere on offense. Kelsey's aging. Worthy is not it. Rashee Rice is going to get suspended, probably go to jail at some point. And then, I mean, their O-line's falling apart. They need someone that Mahomes can get the ball out to quickly and can make plays. And I think they might need a year or two to rebuild. But for the time being, I think Breece Hall would be a perfect complement to Mahomes.
I love him in Denver. I would love to see Breece Hall with Sean Payton and that offensive line. I mean, it's arguably the best offensive line in the league, and that was with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey did not really impress anybody.
He's a third down back.
We've seen, and we don't. I mean, J.K. got hurt again. You can't really rely on him. Sean Payton loves his running backs, and he loves having 2. Harvey, you can keep in that third down specialty role where Sean Payton can move him around, do all the stuff
because he can
with him.
catch it.
Yeah.
He's like a low receiver, yeah.
And then you put Breece as the focal point of that offense on a downhill attack with that offensive line. I love that in Denver. I think it's perfect. It fits Sean Payton, fits the offensive line, and it fits the defense. You need a pounder who's going to thump the ball 20 times a game and tear up defenses while you let the defense do the work on the back end. I think it's a perfect spot.
You need a pounder, Cole.
Pounder.
You do.
My only thing with that, I feel like Breece and Harvey are kind of similar backs a little bit. I'd almost rather have just a bruiser with Harvey.
Breece is a big dude.
He's not a bruiser like that though. He is a little bit between the tackles, but I mean, yeah, he would be great there, and he would be a.
But it's also Harvey's more of your bruiser though. He's the third down.
Harvey's small.
Back.
Is he fast? Is he fast enough to be like that? Because that's what we're saying.
Yeah, Harvey's fat. Harvey's a pass catcher.
But Harvey's not that good at running the ball though. So it's who are you going to put in first, second down? You're going to put in a bruiser.
Breece is 5'11", 200 pounds or 220. I'm sorry, he's 5'11", 220. He's a big boy.
He's not a great goal line back. I mean, he would be good, and like you said, they have the cap to really do something like that.
What about you? Who do you think?
One other team I had here was Washington. Again, they have all the cap in the world.
I like that a lot.
Bill Crosby, Merritt, we've all been jerking off all year. I don't know why. Breece Hall is worlds better, would by far be the best back they had. This team had a top 5 rushing offense with Chris Rodriguez and Bill and a bunch of just like nobodies at running back.
They did lose Kingsbury.
Take away the pressure off Jaden Daniels, and to keep him safe and upright, you get the running game going even more. I mean, I think if they get Breece Hall in, they have the best rushing attack in the league, no questions asked. Like what they did last year with limited just talent at that position, if you throw this guy in there, I think their running game would be insane.
I'm curious though, just because, like I just said, like Kingsbury will be gone, and he is creative in the run game, even if he doesn't have his best year as a coordinator. So I don't.
Kingsbury's with the Giants.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's not. He's with the Rams.
That's right. He's with the Rams.
But it's just like if you're trading him for Breece Hall, that might even it out. So
I could also see the Titans just throwing a gobsmack of money at him, too.
I think they have enough at running back. I think they have other holes to fill.
I'm just like the Titans just seem like a team that could come in and just give him like $14 million a year and just give him some monster contract.
I mean, he also I could see him back on the Jets. He doesn't seem too displeased with them somehow. So I mean, if the Jets are going to re-sign one player, it might be him.
Yeah. All right, Rasheed Walker at 8, Green Bay. Solid tackle, nothing too spectacular, but really good season this year.
I could see the Cowboys going for him. They've always loved to, build that O-line. Terrence Steele was awful this year, and they can cut him with minimal penalty. And he wouldn't be too expensive. But then again, think last year.
They're saying this guy's going to command like $20 million.
Yeah, I was about to say
Tackles,
Dan Moore last year got a shitload of money from Tennessee, right? And he was not even good the year before. So I could totally. I'm going to go Raiders because the Raiders are desperate at every offensive line position besides wherever Jackson Powers Johnson's playing. I'm going to go Raiders. Just get them the top alignment on the board. Hopefully, imagine if they could get him and Linderbaum. That would totally revamp.
Yeah, I agree, Ray. I don't think there's much to say on this guy. He's a tackle. Go to a tackle need team.
I would just also throw out the Patriots. I think the Patriots
Morgan Moses is old as fucking ballsack.
To put him in left tackle, kick Will Campbell to guard. We've also seen the Chiefs do this multiple times now in the Super Bowls when they've gotten torched on the O-line in the Super Bowl. They almost go, and the Bears did this last year. They almost put too much resources into the offensive line after such an abysmal showing. Mm-hmm. I think the Patriots might just be our offensive line was so bad in the postseason. That's what we're focusing on this offseason, and they go pay for the top tackle. And they go stick him in and put Will Campbell then at the left guard and put him at the tackle spot.
I can see that as well.
Yeah, I mean that'd be
following the
play.
trend, like you said.
All right, Odad. I might botch this name.
What number is this?
9.
Number 9.
Odafe. Might have botched the name. I don't really know, but
former Ravens. Yeah, former Penn State first round pick.
Where do you got him going? I know you have something on him.
I'm just gonna go. We're mocking everyone to these teams, man. I'm gonna go Titans. They have so many needs. This guy's not gonna command that much money. He's a rotational pass rusher. He never really made an imprint with the Ravens at all, so they traded him to the Chargers, who already had a good rotational pass rush. So they were able to throw him in and make it look like he was putting up numbers. But this guy isn't very great. He can't stop the run one bit. So I just see a team like Tennessee or even the Jets, Commanders, someone that's really – I can see the Commanders too, someone really in need of a pass rush that they just need to get bodies out there.
His market value is 4 for $77. So
holy hell, that is way too much money for him.
He's an edge rusher.
But yeah, he's a – he can't stop the run. He can't set the edge.
I mean, he's an edge rusher in a weak free agent class. He's going to get overpaid.
Yeah, and I mean,
y'all are right then.
He's still young, and he got a lot better as the season went on. He's just he's a classic overpay. Bet on the upside. You got cap going for you. May as well shell it out. All right. Then last one of our top 10 here, Braden Smith, really solid tackle for Indy. Again, when you're talking about these linemen in this situation, I mean, same thing with Rasheed Walker. New England. Vegas, Tennessee, these teams with cap that need line help. I think Braden Smith kind of fits that same bill.
for me, this seems, if the Bengals were shrewd, this is a perfect move for them. He's a really solid tackle. He's 29, so you're not going to have to pay like the premium you'd have to pay on like a 26-year-old tackle hitting the market. But he's a really good player who's going to help you immediately. He's a known commodity. You're not betting on upside here. You're just getting a really good player to help out a position for the Bengals that really needs help. Like if the Bengals were smart, they've got $54 million in cap. Go pay this guy to be the tackle for 3 years for Joe Burrow. I mean, they need it so bad, and I don't think you're going to have to pay top of the market for this guy because of his age.
Yeah,
I think it's perfect for them if they're smart.
I agree. I see this guy staying in the AFC. Like he'd go to a team like Titans, Raiders, or like Patriots, even staying with the Colts. Even though I think they have another good backup, or Ravens. I don't know. I just see this guy staying in the AFC.
Seems like a Patriots guy too.
Yeah,
I could see the
guy.
Pats going to get him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all we got for free agency here. Let's take a quick break. All right, we got a 2026 NFL mock draft. We're going top 10 picks. I got the one pick. I'm going with Fernando Mendoza. I mean, this is an absolute shoo-in. The Raiders need a franchise quarterback. Not much to say on here.
All right, with the second pick, the New York Jets. This is where the draft really gets started because you're between Arvell Reese and Reuben Bain Jr. Arvell Reese, on one hand, you have like a Micah Parsons, like this guy was tasked at doing everything on the Ohio State defense. Freaking Matt Patricia, he had him in, it's called the auto. So basically he was setting the edge, playing linebacker, blitzing sometimes, like doing every which thing. But he plays with his head on fire. He is just more of a project because he doesn't have as much instincts. But I'm going to go with the guy that has pure instincts and pure just bulldog rushing ability, has an instinct and a knack to get to the football. Reuben Bain Jr. out of Miami. He helped carry them to a national championship appearance. He was the best player on that whole team besides maybe Tony, who's a freshman who's going to be insane in a couple of years. But Reuben Bain gets knocked for his arm length. But, I mean, unless you're going against Will Campbell, I really don't think that's going to affect his pro game. He is such a monster, and there's other guys that have come out with the same problem that just have not had it, and they weren't near as dominant as him in college football, especially just like the last couple of years, not just this year.
Well, if I'm the Cardinals, this worked out beautifully. The clear choice is Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you have a really good shot here if this is how the draft goes, that you're getting the best guy in this entire class. I mean, he's been the top prospect for basically a year at this point. He's a stud edge rusher. I mean, we saw what he did at Ohio State this year. I don't really think there's much more to say. I think if he's here at 3, the Cardinals are sprinting to hand that ticket in.
Both of those both those guys are going to be nuts. Like, Bain's just a guy you could put. He's almost like a Simmons on the Titans. Like, you can put him all over the line. He's crazy. But yeah, Reese is going to be a monster too. It's just more of if he's going to be a linebacker or an edge.
Yeah, and 4 with Tennessee. This is where it gets interesting. Tennessee could go a lot of different directions here. You got some really good defenders on the board. You can go offensive lineman. You can go receiver. I mean, hell, you could go Jeremiah Love if you want. If I'm them, though, man, I think my biggest priority is getting Cam Ward some legitimate help, and I think you do that by adding a big name in free agency and also by drafting Cardell Tate, who I think is probably the safest receiver prospect in this draft. He's a really good route runner. He may not have the upside as a Tyson, but I think him and whoever they sign immediately helps out Cam Ward, and I think that's your biggest priority. You got to see what you have in Cam Ward, and you got to give him a real shot, and you do that by getting, in my mind, the best receiver in the draft in Cardell Tate.
It's an interesting poll on the receiver. There's 3 really good. I mean, Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi, yeah. Mekhi Lemon is a stud.
He's the Vegas favorite right now.
Is he? I think because Jordan Tyson, too, man. That dude.
He just had a bad injury.
Yeah, he's had some injury issues. I mean, all 3 of these receivers.
Yeah. This draft's weird. I think 3 to 15 could be bunched anyway.
100%. No, but I think all 3 receivers end up going top 10. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take Tate as your number 1 guy, I got no problems. I mean, there's not really much differentiating between the 3. So,
all right, at 5, I'm not going to take David Bailey here. The Giants have a pretty good D-line. I mean, they got Burns and they got Abdul Carter, who they took second last year on the edges. They really don't need an edge player. And then also David Bailey just has some character concerns. So I'm going to go on the opposite side. John Harbaugh has shown a willingness to draft offensive linemen in the first round, especially when they're highly touted. And I mean, Francis Mauigoa, I'm definitely not pronouncing that last name right. Francis Mauigoa. Let's just say it like that. Mauigoa. He's a stud. He stepped in as a freshman and started every game, an unanimous freshman All-American, just an USA, whatever, All-American later on, AP. He is a beast. They need to solidify the O-line for Dart, the run game, and Neighbors. And like I said, Harbaugh is not afraid to take the chances on the linemen in the first round.
There's a lot of ways to go here for the Browns.
Oh, yeah,
there's no quarterback.
I think they would trade back again if we were not doing trades.
There's no quarterback really available. You've got David Bailey on the board here. He's fallen, but
you take the best guy there.
It's just when
Downs.
you already have. I mean, Myles Garrett. When you have a guy like Garrett,
I'm talking Downs.
I'm thinking Downs.
But also, I would take Bailey because they don't have another edge on the other side.
I mean, Lemon or Tyson. This team needs.
See,
a
that's the other
bad,
thing.
man.
Like, I think they're going to end up taking a receiver here. But if I'm them, I'm taking Caleb Downs. I know they need a receiver, but the other thing is like, what are you really getting a receiver for? Like, you're getting a receiver for Shedeur Sanders or Daniel Jones. Like, for me, if I'm them, I can go David Bailey and I can say, okay, I'm going to pair him with Myles Garrett. I already have Myles Garrett. Like, my pass rush is fine. We took Mason Graham last year. Like, the defensive line is fine. Like, I don't need more there. I need other spots. And Caleb Downs is probably going to be the best player in this class. Like, I can get Myles Garrett and then pair him with a guy who's going to be, probably an all-pro level secondary player on that defense. I think the receivers are more of an unknown. And when I don't have a quarterback yet, it's hard for me to pass up on kind of a surefire defensive player.
I agree.
For a receiver when I don't even know who's going to be throwing him the ball. So I think here they go safe, and you take Caleb Downs.
I like that too. You're not relying on another player.
Well,
for
if
him
you're
to prove.
Cleveland, though, you get a receiver now, right? And then you look at next year's QB class. You look at almost like a
They have another first round pick
Jamar
though.
Burrow thing. Let's go get a receiver.
Swap it around.
Or,
Maybe.
get the QB next year. Right?
I honestly think they will go receiver. If I'm them, though, it's really hard to pass up Caleb Downs.
He's such a safe pick.
He's a safe pick. And, like, let's say just I'm going into next year, and I've got Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, Denzel Ward, and Caleb Downs on my defense. Next year, when I take my quarterback, and Schweizinger, I'm going
You're
all
set
out.
you're set on every.
With Caleb Downs, I feel like you set the whole defense up as a really good defense for a long time.
And Caleb Downs is a player too. Like, as a GM, you will not get in trouble picking Caleb Downs.
Hell no.
Like,
No.
you can't lose picking Caleb Downs. He's gonna most likely be a stud.
No.
Yeah, and then you wait like 2 years, you got Deshaun off the books, and then you're ready to go full in on the offense.
All right, number 7 now, the Commies. I was wanting Caleb Downs for them. He would have fit perfect. But there's Jeremiah Love, who's kind of the sexy, fun pick, but I don't really think that's the smart pick. If I'm them, I'm going with David Bailey. They're saying this guy could go as high as second potentially. He's an insane pass rusher. His upside's insane. There's questions about his size and him against the run, but if this guy hits, he's going to be one of the best pass rushers in the league and be a premier D end on a team that needs help everywhere on defense. Give Dan Quinn your war daddy and your pass rusher and your guy that's just going to go cause hell to opposing QBs. So I think it's also just a really good value pick at 7 for them. So.
Yeah, David Bailey falling to 7 here is an auto pick.
Yeah, you got to take it.
Yeah, you have to take it.
Their defense is so bad.
Well, guess what? The Saints are saying, F your value pick. We're going to go with the best guy on the board. And a big position of need now that Kamara is not the same player as he was anymore. Jeremiah Love, this is about where he should go. We've seen it in previous drafts. I don't think a single team that has taken a running back in the first round has regretted it, like in the last 3 years, because the scouts are so good at evaluating running back talent now, and Jeremiah Love has been so good for the last 2 years, and he doesn't get hurt. He does every single thing you want out of running back, and he would help change their offense. I know they have some needs at wide receiver and everything, but I think blanking on his name, your boy Olave. I think Olave is enough to hold that group up on his own. It's kind of like having a CD or like Pickens together. Like you don't need both. You just need one number one. They can hold the group. And then, like I think Love would help transform this offense and then just help develop Shucks so much.
I love in this pick. It's just like you said, like
Yep.
Bijan, Gibbs, like these guys nowadays with the scouting of where it is, and if you're picking a running back in the top 12,
They know what they're doing.
there's a 95% chance the guy's going to be
He's
a
a
monster.
stud.
And
He's
you
gonna
get
be a
him,
stud.
you get him on a rookie deal with Shuck on a rookie deal, and even like with Atlanta with Bijan, like the team may not be that good in your other spots, but you have one of the best players in the NFL. And with Atlanta,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, if your defense might need help, yes, but if Shuck's that guy, you give him the help, you let him blossom, and you have Shuck, Love, Olave, and you have an offense that's awesome and fun and could make real noise.
It's like a thing of, how there was like
I love
there was like
that
a
pick.
4-year span almost where it was like, do not take a running back in the first round, do not pay running back and all this. And it seems like the scouts and everyone just went back to their notebooks and, started just diving deeper on it. And now it's like, okay, that guy we know is a first round running back. And if you're not, you're not even at the end of the first. You're like a second or a third. Like even O'Marion Hampton was the closest I think we're going to get to that. And he still went like 15th.
Yeah.
Like and he was amazing his first year. It's just, they've got the position figured out. It's like the opposite of quarterback. But you're up, Buzz.
It's a really fun pick as a Saints fan.
Yeah, that too.
It's
They need some
super fun.
excitement. Yeah.
And you're right. If Shuck hits, you're looking at a great young quarterback, a stud running back, and a great number one receiver in Olave. You've got the makings of a really good offense for a really long time in a bad division that has no clear leader for the future. You're
yes.
looking at Atlanta with no quarterback, the Bucks who are just the most, they're kind of becoming the Steelers of the NFC.
Right.
And I don't know how many Bryce Young believers that are out there outside of Charlotte. I can't imagine there's many. Like, you make this pick, you've definitely got the most exciting offense in the division now, and you might have the best offense in the division as early as next year.
They're already set at both tackle positions. They have a great center in Cesar Ruiz. Like, they are good.
Yeah.
And then also, I think Jeremiah Love is the second best or the second safest player in the draft, and probably second best.
Yep. All right, Chiefs. The Chiefs, I'm sure, never thought they'd be picking this high.
Crazy.
I think if you're the Chiefs here and Sonny Styles is still on the board, you have to take him. You're deficient at a lot of different positions, and you're losing a lot. Like, Chris Jones is getting old. Kelsey might retire. Like, those blue chip prospects you used to have and the blue chip talent you used to have is fading. I think Sonny Styles is the last blue chip player on the board. You've invested a lot into the receiver position the last couple of years. I don't think it makes sense to go Lemon or Jordan Tyson here, as exciting as it would be for
They've
fantasy
spent a lot of
football
capital on
players.
receivers
But,
already.
Like,
Yeah.
you've got Worthy, you've got Rashid Rice, you've still got Hollywood Brown. Like, Sonny Styles here just makes so much sense. Give him to Spags and give Spags his next blue chip level talent on defense to move him all over the line and help out a Chiefs defense that needs help in a lot of areas. He can plug a lot of holes for that team. And I think getting a guy this talented as a Chiefs fan and as a Chiefs organization, you never thought you'd be picking this high, having him fall to this spot, I think it's an auto pick for them.
Yeah, he'd be a stud with Bolton because they also might lose Leo Chenal this offseason. So I think that would be a great fill in there. But yeah, man, you screwed the next three teams for sure because they all need defense bad.
100%.
Yeah. And 10 picks since we're going with Mansour Delane out of LSU.
Cowboys are trading back now.
Yeah.
This guy, I think for Cincy, if one of the top three edge guys is there in the draft, you would love to get one of them. Since Trey Hendrickson's the number one free agent, it's probably moving on. But obviously, in this hypothetical, he's not there. But this guy's the number one corner in this draft. Cincy's defense, they need everything. If Styles was there, they could go with him too. But I mean, this defense, it's just pick your choice. Pick the best defensive player available, and this is the guy in this situation. This was historically one of the worst of all time. They don't have any needs on offense, really. There's still some receivers, tackles, players, but this team could use a tackle too, but defense is the biggest priority. You're in the AFC. You're going to see Allen, Mahomes, and these guys in the playoffs next year. Go get him some help. Go get Burrow some defense and make it happen.
Yeah, I like that. I think the top 10 players are very clearly gone, in my opinion. So the Dolphins are kind of screwed at 11. I think naturally they would think we go Peter Woods. And they do have a new GM in town too. Will Greer's gone, but they totally whiffed on Kenneth Grant last year at D-tackle in the first round. And I don't think their fan base can put up with them taking another tackle, especially at the 11 pick. I'm going to have them taking an exciting pick, and something that matches their offense is speed. Mekhi Lemon, he can slot in any team. He's a receiver. He's fast. He plays the slot. Tyreek's not going to be on that team next year. There's no doubt about it. I think Mekhi Lemon slots in perfectly next to Waddle. Quinn Ewers, you're going to have another good target on your team to throw to, buddy.
Boys, you're taking the best defensive player on the board. Unfortunately, they're all gone. So we're moving to Jermon McCoy, corner out of Tennessee. You just got rid of Diggs. You've got holes everywhere on this defense. You really can't go any other place other than defense as much as you want to go offensive line like they typically do. I think Jermon McCoy's the pick here with how the draft fell. You go get the best defender available, and you plug that corner hole, and then you fill that linebacking hole and that defensive line hole throughout the free agency, and you go take care of your corners.
I bet he's filling holes over here.
There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes to fill.
Fill 'em up.
But with this, you got a top 12 pick. You go get the second best corner in the draft, and you solidify your secondary position.
I do like that pick.
All right, that's the top 12 there. Boris. Now, boys, let's go to some best and worst moves of last offseason. What do y'all got for me? Hit me.
Well, I mean,
we got anything brewed or what?
Well, yeah. I mean, we can go ahead and get the clear. I erased it.
I got mine.
I mean, we've got the clear best move is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much to say. We talked about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Darnold / Kubiak, bringing him in.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it ad nauseum. I mean, it was an awesome deal, and it won him a Super Bowl. He was fantastic.
Vrabel also, best moves. I mean, obviously getting Vrabel in there, turning the team around. You gotta love that move. That's an A++ move. Ben Johnson, another A+ move, and also really just like the Bears' whole offseason, getting all the line help.
Yep.
Bringing in Ben Johnson. The draft, they did really well as well. Really, the Bears as a whole, they just knocked it out of the park.
I've got another one to piggyback on the Bears.
Yeah.
Joe Thuney was their best pickup.
Hey, I got another one. Drew Dahlman, their center. He's fantastic. He's one of the top. He was one of the 4 centers graded over 71 on PFF in both run and pass blocking. Obviously, their run game was fantastic this year with 2 subpar running backs. They were the 4th highest graded offensive line, and he helped solidify a team that's been needing offensive line help forever. So just doubling down on what the Bears have done. I mean, they made a ton of great moves, but that was one of the more underrated moves. They got him for 3 years, $42 million in free agency, and he's one of the best centers in the league.
Also, too, George Pickens trade. We already talked about this earlier, but to get him for pennies on the dollar, top 5 talent in the league, and then now to potentially be able to go flip him for a first-round pick.
And good for George, too,
good for all besides Pittsburgh, but for Dallas. Like, moves like that, you do not see that happen.
No.
Like, getting a guy that cheap and then him just hitting it out of the park, potentially flipping for the first, or you tag him, or whatever. No matter what you do, you already murdered the trade. Yep. Probably the best trade of the offseason.
Yep.
Any other winning moves here? I mean, those are the big ones.
Hang on, let me.
I think Stephon Diggs,
Danny Dimes,
Dimes definitely.
Dimes was a great signing. They paid him nothing.
I want to just highlight Diggs quick. When that trade or when that signing got announced, everyone was like, "That is a massive overpay," and it probably was. But I mean, what it did for Drake May this year, having a number 1 guy. Diggs isn't what he used to be. He's not what he was in the early days of Buffalo. He's not what he was in Minnesota. But what he did to solidify that receiving room for them and be their number 1 option all year, I mean, the development of Drake May this year speaks for itself. I know it was probably a little bit of an overpay, but at the end of the day, I mean, what it did for that offense was dramatic. So I think Diggs has to be mentioned.
Another one, Milton Williams to the New England Patriots. he completely changed that defensive line. He solidified it. Him and Harold Landry Jr. Milton Williams was a game wrecker for them, and he came out of just nowhere out of that Super Bowl run for Philly. And, I mean, that was a great signing for them. He's going to be a cornerstone for their franchise for a while.
Yeah. The other one, we forgot to mention Liam Cohen, too. We talked about the other two coaches. Liam Cohen is right up there with Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel. I mean, they knocked that A++ on their head coaching position. They revitalized Trevor Lawrence's career, put Jacksonville back on the map, and now if you're a Jags fan, you have a ton of hope going into next year with a really young team and an awesome
Also,
head coach.
shout out very mild sneaky move, the Jacoby Myers trade.
Yeah.
Right when they made that trade, it all turned around, and T-Law was top 5 in MVP because of that. I mean, I'm saying that move did everything, but like he kind of opened up the offense.
Yeah.
I know Parker Washington emerged, and it all kind of started clicking, but like that move is when it all just kind of like the floodgates open for Jacksonville, it seemed like.
Yeah,
Well,
and then also, I mean, this one is good and bad. Geno Smith, I mean, he was dog shit for the Raiders, but he helped them get that #1 pick, didn't he?
Yeah, and you look at
That's
that.
true. That's true. I want to throw a little subtle
So
one
bad
in
it
there.
was good.
I want to throw a subtle one in there. Puna Ford, Rams defensive end. Defensive tackle. He was the second graded interior defender this entire season. He solidified that defensive line for them. He made that run defense fantastic. I mean, they got him for 3 years, $27 million.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the best interior defensive linemen all season.
Throw Nate Landman in with that.
Yeah,
too.
Landman.
18th graded
Yep.
inside backer. They got him for a mil.
Every positive y'all give me, I'm going to give you a negative.
Let's go.
Evan Ingram, 2 years, $23 million.
The
with
Joker.
Broncos.
Oh
What
my
a
God.
joke that was.
I was so in on Evan Ingram.
Oh,
from a
man.
fantasy
Drafted him in
Weren't
the
we
perspective.
sixth
all?
round.
I got him in
guy
every
hates.
fucking league. I remember the reports
He
of
had-
Sean Payton being like, he's gonna be our Joker, man. We're gonna get him.
The
involved.
Joker.
Dude. If anyone that had him knows this, but watching him like early on was so infuriating. They would have Adam Trotman and that Nate Adkins guy who looks like borderline on the spectrum, like.
No,
it was so infuriating.
I
to
know he
watch.
developed, but Evan Ingram at Ole Miss could not catch a ball to save his fucking life.
He couldn't catch a ball
He
in
was
New York.
so
either.
bad. But yeah, two other bad ones. The Jacksonville Jaguars trading up for Travis Hunter. They could have had a lot of other players contribute for them this year and possibly even help them go further in the playoffs. And they gave up draft capital for this year as well. I mean, it was just dumb. And then another one. So yeah, I did a trade, a draft, and then now I'm doing an extension, the Saquon Barkley extension. They made him the highest paid running back in the entire league, and he went and he just pissed down his leg this season. He didn't do a single thing to help them.
I don't know if that.
It's
He was
kind of hard,
still-
though.
yeah,
He
I
had
mean,
2,000 yards.
He was the best player in the league the year prior. They won the Super Bowl. They got. I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of those moves you kind of.
But it was
you kinda have to.
unnecessary. They didn't have to. They still had 2 years on his contract.
I know, but I mean, he was literally like arguably the best player in football. Like, and it's not like he was like shit this year.
But it's
He
not
was
like
a
he
little-
was
he was
also.
a little
It's not like
slower,
he
and
was
that's
begging for an
expected, but-
extension either. He already had a good contract.
You know, his agent though was fully in on it.
That's
but-
why he left New York.
Also,
in the
to
first
the
place.
Sauce Gardner trade.
Bingo.
At the time, it actually looked like a smart move on paper for Indy. Their fans were going crazy. We're saying this team might
Did
make
it?
I mean, at the time, I mean, I think if you were to ask Colt fans at the time when they were 7-1, I think they were all pretty like, yeah, let's go for it. Like, it was a fun move. They were a fun team. I think
They were, yeah.
In the moment, it was like, okay, their defense was like playing pretty good football. They needed a little extra push. Sauce seemed like the push, and then I mean, right when they made this move, it all just went to shit.
Yeah.
He got hurt. Danny got hurt. I mean,
You want to hear two other crazy extensions that happened? George Karlaftis got 4 years, $22 million a year. Have you ever heard that guy's name in any play or anything he's ever done?
Karlaftis is
yeah,
a
he's
decent player.
4 for 22 is like that's actually
Yeah.
pretty affordable.
Yeah.
$22 million a year?
Karlaftis is a decent player.
Oh, I thought you said 4 years, 22 million total.
No, 22 a year.
Oh, yeah.
4 years, $88 million.
He was big. He's been big in their last few Super Bowl
Yeah.
runs too. Like he's a good
He's not
player.
bad.
I mean, he's not like he's not gonna light your socks on fire. But I mean, he's a quality guy.
Well, okay, and then the Rams paid Tutu Atwell $10 million this past
Shout
season.
out, Holly.
Tutu out for $10 million. So that's insane.
That's bad. We got to throw out Dan Moore. I mean, that's got to be
That
the
is
worst.
gotta be the
That's
worst.
got to be the worst.
That guy should never get paid. Also, I want to touch on. Right, we've touched on this. All these we've touched on, but Brandon Bean in Buffalo, not bringing in a guy.
Yeah.
And then also not taking Luther Burden when he was sitting there free at the end of the first round.
Yep.
Luther Burden would have stepped in and be by far their most explosive pass catcher. I think they might have been in the Super Bowl if they drafted Luther Burden.
Could
Like legitimately, or if they just would have got Josh Allen help. Season on the line, he went to Brandon fucking Cooks. Like,
Yeah.
I can't get over that. That was. Are you good?
I just coughed a bunch. That's all.
I can't especially like us, Cal. We know how shitty Brandon Cooks is at this point.
Yeah.
and you're throwing
Oh,
him
he's
with
ass.
the season on the line. That might be like the worst just front office move of like they're just like situation handle of the year. Like just
The Bills should be getting the worst front office award the last 3 years. They've been just horrific.
Oh.
I do want to shout out 2 other Seattle moves: hiring Clint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator and getting an absolute bargain on DeMarcus Lawrence this year. A guy was a Pro
What'd they
Bowler.
pay him?
Like $9 million or something. They
That's
got him
good.
for like a 1-year deal. Like they got him for super cheap. It might have been 2 or 3, but like it wasn't more than like $10 million.
Yeah, he's a great leader.
You went and bought low on Clint Kubiak after a horrid Saints run, even though he started the season really hot. I mean, both of those moves were Super Bowl winning moves for them, and they did it both for cheap, and they did it when they were buying low on those guys.
Yeah.
So those are brilliant.
And then opposite side again, I bring the negative. Mekhi Becton to the Chargers, 2 years, $20 million. He was he was amazing on the Eagles O-line when he was surrounded by studs, but he was not
that
good
guy
for
got
them
his
this year.
bag and he said, "Fuck practice."
Yeah.
fuck.
He
trying."
said I want to go eat some potato chips with
Yeah,
Sabrina
dude.
Carpenter, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he got his bag though. Shout out, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Becton. All right.
Hey, hold on. Shout out to backup quarterbacks too. The Mac Jones signing.
Yep.
That saved the Niners year. It saved
Long neck Mills.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the
Saved their
Packers.
season.
I mean, Malik Willis was awesome
yep.
when he came in. It was the year of the backup quarterbacks.
Yep. Kind of feels like we already went over all this, but
Yeah, we've definitely
we-
touched on it at certain points.
Another one, Cincinnati drafting Shamar Stewart.
Yeah.
We knew they needed ready now players.
yeah.
And then when you're gonna sign a guy like that, you got to sign him, not just drag his ass out until the beginning of the season and then pay him. Like
We also got to throw out some Jets stuff here. I mean, they got Aaron Glenn as their head coach, didn't fire him, and signed Justin Fields to a $20 million.
that was one I meant to bring up.
Okay,
earlier.
but they
Justin
did.
Fields
They
for
at least folded their hand.
$20 million.
They at least folded their hand and got some draft picks.
That is true.
They do still have Aaron Glenn though. as their
I
head
know,
coach.
but I mean, honestly, I don't hate. If I'm the Jets, I'm just gonna keep them and just run back one more shitty year with
just to keep a scapegoat around.
yeah, and then go draft a QB
No,
and go get the new OC
I agree with
guy.
Cole completely.
I mean, I think
you
that's
keep
what
him as
you
a
do.
scapegoat. You hope Danny Dimes doesn't come back and perform for the
Yeah.
Colts. Then you have 2 top 10 picks.
It's kind of just
you can
too-
move up to one.
It's
kind of
just too easy. Like just tank with them
Yeah.
again, fire them, go get the new OC, and then the one go get.
Well, it's like
Archer or
also, what are you
whatever.
going to do if you fire him? You're going to bring in a coach and then be like, you have the 2 pick. Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be horrible again.
Yeah, but all right, are we all good on these moves?
Yeah.
Okay. I got some AJ Brown trades for y'all. I just want to hear your thoughts and give me some grades on them. Okay.
Let's go, baby.
The first one's AJ to Buffalo for let's say a 3rd round pick. I'm just assuming
That
like
would be
a
so
3rd round
amazing for
pick's his
Buffalo.
market value. I would assume, but AJ to Buffalo. What do we think?
I love it. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
you
agree.
kind of. I mean, how do you not? I mean, the only
A.
issue is
Just give it an A. I think.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is like they got out of the Stephon Diggs business because they didn't want another drama-filled receiver. You're getting right back into that business with AJ Brown, but what else are you doing if you're Buffalo? Are you going to run back? You're going to run back Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, and Brandon Cooks? Like, you got to do something. You're drafting at, 25th or something? Like, you're not going to get a top prospect there. Maybe Denzel Boston falls to you. So, like, you got to make a move. You're getting one of the most talented receivers in the league still. I love it. You take the risk on him, and you hope that it gets the offense back clicking again. I love it. I think it's a great move.
All right,
I agree.
AJ going back to the Titans, his former team.
I think that would be really good for Cam Ward. Just the knowledge that AJ has from being on a winning, like a contender, a winning team, a Super Bowl champion. Like, I think that's one thing that's kind of underrated is the veteran knowledge that gets passed down to younger players. And I think that would benefit Cam, and hopefully they'd get a better young wide receiver to pair with him than Alec Imanor. But AJ can just spread knowledge, especially if he's in a place he's comfortable in, he knows his role, and he's not sitting there reading books on the damn sideline.
Yeah, see, if I'm Tennessee for this one, like I mentioned with Carnell Tate, if Tennessee were to go get like an AJ Brown and Carnell Tate, all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, Cam Ward, like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, time to step it
no,
up.
I didn't even really think of the Titans. I really like that actually. You're giving Cam Ward a number one guy. You're giving him someone who's been there, who's been a number one in the league for a long time. Like I mean, that's what we see almost every team with a young quarterback do. They go get a veteran stud receiver.
So what the Eagles did with AJ Brown.
Well, and for
Yeah,
AJ
makes a
too,
ton
like
of
AJ
sense.
wants to be the guy. He's going to want a team that's
Exactly.
going to extend him. You're the fucking guy here in Tennessee,
Yeah.
and we'll probably extend you too.
Yeah, 10 targets a game. It's
Yeah.
all yours. You're going to be happy as a clam.
You already got your ring. Let's go put up some numbers.
because it's also like if you want to be the number one on a team and be competitive, the Bills are one of your only options.
Yeah, and I mean, he was drafted
if they
by
don't-
Tennessee. He had a good run with
Yeah.
them. Like,
And if the Bills don't want you, then you got to relegate yourself to somewhere like Tennessee.
yeah. All right, I got two more for y'all. AJ Brown to the Browns. Brown to the Browns.
I do not like that
Hate
at
that.
all.
Hate it.
They
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
maybe see what you got in Shadur.
I think this would do a lot of nothing for everyone. I don't see a winner in this situation besides the Eagles, which I don't like. Like I mean, what are you using that to develop Shadur? I mean, I
yeah, that would be the logic, or whoever's it.
But yeah, it's just like they're not.
You don't want to give Shadur a shot though.
I just don't believe in him like that, and I don't think AJ is worth the contract, the risk, the headache of Shadur. Like Cam, I think Cam is a good enough leader to where AJ would be able to follow him. I think with Shadur, I think AJ would get in get in the locker room with him, get in the facility and practice with him. I think after 2 months, he would want to chop his dick off. So I do not think that
Miles
would work.
Garrett would lose his mind.
Miles
Shadur and AJ Brown.
I think AJ and Miles might like come together and put a hit on Shadur. Like it would be awful for all parties involved.
It's a lot of 13 to 10 games still for the Browns with AJ Brown. Like it just doesn't it doesn't fit with the locker room. They don't have a quarterback yet. That offense is not going to be throwing the ball a lot, no matter who's at quarterback. I don't like it for either party. If they had a bona fide top pick to where they're investing multiple years in, it makes sense to make the move and develop them. But when all you've got is Shadur and you've invested a 5th round pick,
Pro Bowler,
which they're ready to throw Shadur away like that. Like so,
Yeah.
I don't like making the move with a quarterback who you're not committed to at all.
I mean, dude, they literally have Todd Monken as their head coach.
I mean, they're right with the Jets, so where it's probably
Yeah.
like Todd and Shadur. Like if
it's a throwaway here.
if you light it up, sick. If not, we'll see you. We'll go draft
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah.
All right.
And like AJ's not someone, he's too old to flip or anything. So,
Yeah. All right, last pick, sleeper pick here. AJ to the Niners.
I could see that.
Kittle out for the year.
I like that.
You don't really. Your receiver room's kind of like in
They have cap
limbo.
space.
You know, they have a little bit of cap.
The only problem there is anywhere he goes, he's going to want an extension. So this would be like a 1-year rental.
And they could be a team that a 1-year rental makes sense.
I'd give this
You know,
like
you
a
get
B.
you get your defenders
But,
back. You know,
I think he's also like Shanahan will talk pretty openly about players. You know, like how Ayuk is just like they try to reach out to him, he doesn't reply. Like I think AJ's a little more mature than that. I think this would be a good solid pair. I'd give it like a B.
yeah. I mean, with Ayuk and Kittle out now, like they definitely need some pass catchers. So
And I think Purdy's a great guy to. I mean, he seems so easy to get along with.
Is Kittle out for the year next year?
I mean, he tore his Achilles. Like
probably.
even if he comes back, he's gonna be a shell. Like, I mean, Pearsall's never healthy. I mean, there were times last year where Kendrick Bourne was literally their only guy.
Yeah, I mean, Pearsall is
thing-
awesome
okay,
when he
but the
plays.
like
but
their problem was not offense last year, and that was even with all the injuries they had. No Ayuk, Pearsall missing most of the season, Kittle being out half the year. Hell, with a backup quarterback. Like, if I'm the Niners, I'm done investing in the receiver position. Like, I've invested in Ayuk, I invested in Debo, I invested in Juwan Jennings, I invested in Pearsall. Like, it works with whoever's there. Kendrick Bourne could be there. It could be Demarcus Robinson. Like, I know that's not ideal, but like their offense can function as long as they've got competent quarterback play and Christian McCaffrey. That offense moves the ball and scores points with Kyle Shanahan.
I mean, not against the Seahawks.
Well, not the Seahawks scored 41 points.
I know. I'm just saying like that. I'm just saying like if you're the Niners, it's like okay, this is the team we gotta beat. Them and the Rams. And we're going to score
I think the Niners have a bigger issue on offense.
They're third in
their offensive line needs more help than their weapons, and their defense needs a hell of a lot more.
I mean,
help.
Their defense will get healthy. It was banged up.
It was banged up, but like you're losing Bob Saleh. You brought in Raheem Morris, so I mean he'll be fine. But like I just think if I'm the Niners have been burned so many times at this point at the receiver spot, and that's kind of their one glaring front office issue is. That's the one spot on their team they just can't figure out how to manage is the receiver position. Either they invest too much into it, and then they've got all these guys they're paying too much money to, and that money needs to be allocated elsewhere. I just feel like you're going to get A.J. Brown to plug a spot that you really don't need to fill, and you've got bigger issues that you need to really fill if you want to win a championship.
I see both sides of it, too, because, I mean, like I see on one hand, too, it's like, okay, CMC isn't getting any younger, and if we keep using him in this same capacity with our pass catchers now hurt or, not being good, like we're going to have to take some pressure off of this guy in some way, somehow. But at the same time, it's
how do you take it off of CMC, though?
Well, if you get AJ Brown in there, that's surely going to help, right?
Sure.
Like, I'm just saying, like CMC, he's now at this point probably one more bad injury away from it really being close to wraps for him. And so I would think hopefully Brian Robinson get more touches, but you gotta take some pressure off that guy. But then I also see the other side of it, like you're saying, like they have other holes, they have other issues, and a lot of receivers can work in that scheme. And also AJ's not a long-term answer for him. So
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, like the Patriots too. But I'm like, they already have their old veteran wide receiver. They're paying that, and they're giving up draft capital when they have a lot of holes.
Yeah,
like,
AJ and Diggs.
That's a bad.
That'd be a cancerous for the locker room. All right. Oh, we got Maxx Crosby trades now.
All right. My first Maxx Crosby trade I'm going to give y'all. It's a little spicy. Okay, actually, no, let me give you this one first. Maxx Crosby to the Dallas Cowboys for George Pickens and their first-round pick, the 20th pick.
If I'm Dallas, I don't like it at all. I'm sorry. It's just very rich. It's like I think George Pickens in the open market commands a 1 and some change alone. And if I'm having to give George plus the 20th pick this year that I'm going to get for a rookie deal and Maxx 2, who is on a huge contract.
What if you're giving
we just traded Micah, but now we're getting Maxx in to fill it, who's a downgrade. I just feel like
I think Maxx is better, but
than Micah? No, he's not. Micah's better.
Think they can debate
I just feel like that's a bad management of your resources. I just think if Maxx for the 20 pick alone, I like that. But like I think there's a real argument.
What if it was Pickens
alone,
in the second next year?
I don't even like that. I think Pickens alone has almost equal value as Maxx straight up.
He does not.
No.
He does
he's
not.
He's 25, 26 coming off a top 5 receiver season.
Maxx
a lot
Crosby.
of teams
Maxx has proved it for like
Maxx
6
Crosby
years.
is going to command at least 2 firsts.
Yeah.
At a
maybe
minimum.
3.
I mean, dude, George Pickens, you can make the case he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Dude, he's got the character stuff. Like, Jay
One good
Glazer.
year. It's one good year versus
But
like
he
5.
had a top 5 year.
Jay Glazer.
Okay, I'm not saying.
On.
I'm just saying it's not that far off. I'm not.
Jay Glazer was talking about on the Super Bowl pregame show that he's going to go for more than Micah if he gets traded. He's going to go for
Maxx.
Yeah, Maxx is going to be more expensive than Micah. Now, the only reason I don't really like it for Dallas is like, what was the point of the Micah deal then? Like for Dallas, it's like we just kind of tanked a season, got the 12th pick, and replaced him with basically the exact same thing. And we're gonna have to pay him now $45 million.
You replaced him with Maxx and Quinnen Williams.
I know, but then if you're Dallas, though, you're also like I feel like you're doing it.
That's pretty good.
I feel like you're not capitalizing on the Pickens trade though, which we just talked about, which was one of the biggest steals of the offseason. You're kind of just like accepting like defeat from the Micah thing in my mind. It's like, okay, we're just gonna get Maxx and like screw it. We're not gonna wiggle our way out of this. We're just gonna Just
I think
take
it's
the
also
lane.
a thing
okay, if you look at it through
of
the
locker room. Like,
if you look at it through the lens, like you said, you're not capitalizing on it. If you're looking at it through the lens of we gave up a 3rd-round pick for George Pickens, and so now all we're giving up is the 20th pick and a 3rd-round pick for Maxx Crosby, that's capitalizing on it.
But
If you look at it through that lens, I get what you're saying, and I kind of agree with you that, like, I don't really understand the point of doing the Micah trade and then doing this.
It's like the Luka trade, though.
Oh,
You know, like looking back on the
wouldn't-
deal and then being like, oh, well, we should have got that, but then, you know,
yeah,
just like,
I wouldn't do
what-
this
what-
if I'm the Cowboys. It's just they're one of the favorites, and they could only pay one of the two. So that's why I thought it was a good idea.
I mean, okay, actually, a big factor.
And the Raiders really need a-
What's Max's contract? That's a major factor here. I didn't
45
think
million.
about. What? How many years is he on it?
I think he needs an extension, doesn't he?
Does he?
Let me look it up.
That's actually.
I think he's up for
That's
extension.
actually. That's the biggest thing of this argument right here.
He's up for extension.
He's signed in 27, 28, and 29.
Oh, he's signed
Oh,
for the
he
next
is?
3 years.
Yeah.
At how much?
No, so he signed for 26, 27, 28, and 29. Next 4 years.
Was it team friendly?
It's at 29 a year, pretty
Okay,
much.
So it's.
Oh, I'm doing that in a
It's
heartbeat.
team friendly.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Or-
He's signed through 2028.
That's probably the whole reason. There's no other way Jake Laser would say he'd go for more than Micah. That's the only reason why.
because
he's
think
on a,
you're
he's on a
basic,
nice contract.
you're almost paying
Oh,
him and Quinnen Williams just the money from Micah, and you're getting a player just as good as Micah and an All-Pro D tackle.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not as
which-
good as Micah though, man.
He's
not-
pretty damn close.
he's fucking close.
He's not as
dude.
good as Micah.
He's very close.
pretty close.
I don't know. I just think it's still a lot. Like, cause I think it's you're giving up the 20th pick, and then in my mind, like Pickens is worth a 1, and like maybe like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah. Well, we can move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
maybe the next one.
Well,
but I
okay,
will say
hold
I
on.
will say this. Initially, if I didn't know the contract, but now knowing the deal, it makes way more sense.
Yeah.
now.
I will just say, given the contract from the Cowboys, I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you're getting Maxx Crosby for $30 million through 2029, like that's and you keep your 12th pick, I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah.
I guess we should have started with the potential contract. There.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So my bad.
I
should have said that. My
I
bad.
thought he was up for
we
extension.
should have known it. I didn't even
Uh,
know.
And so yeah, so what I was going to say before is to preface everything, but I wanted to say that one first. But in all of these, I'm looking for a wide receiver for the Raiders because there's not really very many in the draft past the first round, and I think it would be, like we've talked about, it would be great for Mendoza to get a first round receiver, kind of like Caleb Williams got.
Okay.
So the next one, it's very involving Caleb Williams, the Bears.
I'm sorry. I just don't mean to cut you off. I feel like we didn't even talk about it from the Raiders side.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
But
From the Raiders side, you're getting a number 1 receiver, and you're not even really,
Yeah.
and you're getting a first round pick, so you can draft an O lineman for Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be huge for him.
From the Raiders side, I
love it from that side.
I don't like it at all. I just feel like it has disasters. Pickens and his personality problems.
Yeah.
Kubiak, first year head coach in Las Vegas. I mean, we saw late down the stretch in Dallas last year, Pickens start throwing fits over nothing. So I would be terrified for the Pickens personality fit. If he's on the field
That's fair.
playing,
That's fair.
great. But like,
I-
I would be scared for that for sure.
I also think they could get more than that for Crosby. So like I think they can get at least 2 firsts and something.
yeah. So my next
but
one,
Pickens though, dude, his value. He's got a lot of value.
yeah.
Does he?
He's only
Yes.
24.
Dude, I mean, he was what 4th in yards this last year, and like the eye test, and like
When CD was out, he was
If this
amazing.
guy didn't have any character problems, he would get 2 firsts like that. Like
If
the
he didn't have
talent-
the character
yeah.
stuff,
and
but,
that's
I
why I'm
mean,
saying even with the character first and for the most part in Dallas this year, he had his head on straight. Like he was fine.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really have any problems with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Next one to the Bears. This is for DJ Moore and 2 first round picks and a 3rd. And also with the draft picks, y'all can kind of, insinuate like there's a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it fair.
Can we get can you tell us DJ's contract?
Yes.
The years he
it
does
was
he
4 years, 110 million,
and does he have 2 more years on it?
I think. Or when were they on Hard Knocks?
I'm looking it up.
I don't know.
Caleb's rookie year. So
what
he
is-
had
what is
2 years
DJ?
left.
So DJ is owed
2 years.
23 million plus signing bonus, which is 4, so like 27 million for 26, 27, 28, and 29.
God.
Oh my God.
So you're taking on a bad contract.
Yeah.
there.
So you could honestly even give them a second instead of a third or another first.
But they do get 2 firsts and a third.
Yeah, but it's like I said, you like I don't have a trade scale in front of me.
No,
but
I got you.
Yeah.
No, for this one, I actually like this more for Vegas. Like DJ Moore, it's not a good deal, but he's still going to be your number one weapon, automatic or not weapon, but number one receiver. And I mean, if you can get 2 firsts and a third, have we ever seen a defender fetch 2 firsts and a third in recent memory? I don't think
Khalil
we have.
Mack.
Khalil Mack. I mean, that was when he was coming off like defensive player of the year type of running.
Yeah.
So I mean, Micah got 2 firsts and Kenny Clark.
Yeah. So
Pretty
I mean,
much the same.
yeah. I mean, and it is a better deal. I think I'm neutral on this one. And then for Chicago's side of things, it's a big swing, but I feel like you're ready to take this big swing. You have Caleb on a rookie deal. It's a lot of draft capital, though.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. But then again, like you said, you're getting Maxx Crosby on a really good deal, and you have him and Montez Sweat now. I don't know.
How are you filling out the rest of that team, though? I mean, you got Caleb, Loveland, and Burton all for cheap. So
Well, getting DJ out of there is
Yeah.
a net
And
positive,
Rome.
I'd
And
say.
Rome.
yeah, and Rome.
The offense, I think, is completely fine. I would just be worried about the team building a few years down the line because, two 1s and a 3. But then again, it's like this team, it does feel like this team kind of where Green Bay was last year. You know, we want to close games out, get Maxx Crosby, and Chicago, they're a team, they're going to be up, and they need a closer. And so I don't hate it. I don't love it, though, because it's very rich. And
Is one of the firsts this year's first?
Yes, it would be.
I'd do it then.
Yeah.
Because what are they drafting? 26th? 27th?
Yes,
I mean, they're like the bottom 5. They were the 2 seed. So, I mean, you're giving up the 26th pick. You're giving up 1 more first, a third. Let's just say it's the third this year, so it's a crappy third. DJ Moore is nothing more than a burden for this team at this point. I mean, he's way overpaid. They've got plenty of other players to throw the ball to. So, I mean, getting rid of the DJ Moore contract's just beneficial by itself.
It's almost like poetic in a weird way. You know, DJ just keeps getting traded to rookie quarterbacks to be their one.
I'm coming around to it for the Bears. It's a lot, but if I'm looking at it through the lens of it's the 27th pick in the first round, it's the pick next year, which they should be really good, and then a third-round pick, and you're getting off a bad contract.
Yeah, dude. And
I mean, the DJ Moore contract and Maxx Crosby's
the
contract
Bears,
are like
the Bears'
same.
biggest weakness this whole year was pass rush, and Max would immediately solve that.
I think this one is just. I don't think it's like a plus for him. I think it's just a solid win-win on both sides.
I agree. It's a good compromise.
Yeah, I think it's a deal that anyone would look at and be like, it's a good move for both teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my next one. I'm just gonna give y'all 5. So this will be number 3.
Yeah.
Next one, Detroit Lions. They are actually the favorite for Maxx Crosby right now. So Maxx Crosby to the Detroit Lions for Jamison Williams and 2 first-round picks. Jamison Williams contract.
It's big.
He was signed for 3 years, $80 million. But his cap hit every year is only like 15 to. So his is weird. His cap hit goes this year. It's 8, then 10, then 14, then 20, and then 40. But it's an option.
So they'll get rid of him by then.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I could see them trading him before then. But it's also like I think the Raiders should really try to target a number 1 wide receiver if they can in this trade.
Do they get the Lions pick this year?
Yeah, this year, next year.
That's the 16th pick?
Yeah.
I don't really believe in Jamison Williams, but God, I don't. I like it more for the Raiders than I do the Lions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Raiders, it's the only thing is I don't think J-Mo is like. I don't know if J-Mo's the receiver I'm looking for Fernando because
he's definitely not.
He's a specialty burner guy. I'm looking for more of like a
one
between the chains guy. And you get the 2 picks. I like the other packages more for the Raiders. And then for Detroit, I'm sorry, but it kind of just feels like a desperate play if you're Detroit. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, it's like, you know what? Jared Goff isn't getting any younger. So at the same time, it feels like a move if you're Detroit you kind of have to make. And you convince yourself that Crosby and Naden Hutchinson are just going to cause havoc on the NFC. And the defense
That's a pretty.
Yeah, the
insane
defense
duo.
was beat up last year. I do worry, though, about the offense if I'm Detroit, though. Jameson Williams, he has splashes, and he's not dynamite, but he does a lot for that offense. So, for Detroit, I'd give it like a C+, and I'd give it like a C+, both sides. I don't think it. Yeah, I like the other one better.
Okay, it doesn't. That one. If I'm Detroit, I just feel like I've got a lot of issues on defense outside of one edge rusher.
Yeah,
like I've already got Hutchinson to rush the edge. I mean, having Crosby and Hutchinson is like a dream, but you've got secondary problems. You've got linebacker problems.
Jack Campbell was an All-Pro.
Yeah,
And then they were also missing Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch all year. Those are 2 All-Pro safeties.
I'm not as worried about them offensively because you're going to get Laporta back. Isaac Tesla looked like he could be a number 2. You've got Amon-Ra. You've got Gibbs. Like, you've got a great O-line. Like, I think the offense will be fine.
Yeah. I think this and the Bears ones are the most realistic.
Yeah.
But
actually,
yeah.
the more I think about this one, the more I like it for Detroit. Because you don't really have another move.
Jamo's just their deep threat. Like they could do that with Tesla, or they could draft someone in the second round.
Tesla, they got Tesla to make a move like this in my mind. Like Tesla, we saw him. He's a burner. He's fast as shit. He could take over.
He's
that
a great
JMO
jump ball
role.
guy.
You'll get Laporta back, and I mean Jared Goff, he's not getting any younger, and if you want to capitalize, and also Maxx Crosby, Dan Campbell, like that's a glove, like personality wise. So I like it for Detroit. I do.
So JMO's average salary is 26, whatever. But I'm just gonna give y'all one more. The rest are just kind of boring. Like I could go Commanders, Chargers, Niners, but they're all kind of like not as fun to talk about. The last one I'm gonna do. Maxx Crosby to the Los Angeles Rams for Byron Young and 3 first-round picks. I'm only putting Byron Young in there because he's due for a contract extension soon, and he is their other edge rusher opposite of Jared Verse. So it's kind of like, or maybe it's 2 firsts and a second or a third because you throw him in there. But I'm just trying to even out the edge room for them.
If I'm LA, I can't do this. I can't trade 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round
plus
picks.
What
if it was defender. 2 first-round picks and then Byron Young?
I mean, Byron Young's a really good player too. But I know you said he's got to get paid here soon. So, but I don't know, man. It just, if I'm LA, I think we played good enough. We had Seattle right there. We had a good shot of winning that game, and I think we could have easily won that game if I'm them. And do I want to mortgage a lot of the future when I think the team's already this good, or do I want to maybe trade a few picks to try to put us over the top?
And that's why I added them, because they've always had the mentality of F them picks. Let's go all in, especially Stafford's last year, maybe too.
Yeah, the problem is too, though.
I think that factors in more than anything. You have a 30. He's going to be 38 next season.
Yeah.
Like those first-round picks start meaning a hell of a lot more when Stafford's 38 compared to 33 or 34 whenever they traded for him. Like that's
if I'm LA,
tough.
I don't do it because, like we also discussed earlier, they have real cap this offseason. I'd rather go sign a Trey Hendrickson on a 2-year deal in free agency, keep my picks, run it on a 2-year window with Stafford, and then reevaluate things versus kind of push all my chips in right now when the roster really is already good enough to compete with anybody.
Would a deal to like the Chargers or the Commanders entice you more? Because in those you're not going to get a player in either of those, I don't assume.
I like the Commanders.
I would like both of them more.
And that would just be like straight picks for those.
Yeah.
I like the Commanders a lot. Now, the thing with the Commanders, though, is are you giving up the 7th pick in this draft?
Yeah.
I feel like you would have to.
Yeah, you would have to. Because it's about beating all the other offers, because they're going to get a lot of offers.
What's the Commanders deal? Just the 7th pick in next year's
first? It would
first?
probably be 7th in the first, and then probably a 4th or a 5th round pick.
That would be too rich for me. The thing with these other teams is they're probably going to have later picks.
Right.
And so, like, the 7th pick is worth maybe 2.5 late
well,
first.
you got to think, too, man. Like,
so.
the Commanders could easily get him, and then they could get another top 10 pick next year. Like, because the Commanders could just as easily suck again next year.
Yeah.
So I think they're all very interesting, but I only realistically see them going to like the Bears or the Lions.
Yeah, I think I like the
Bears the most.
I think I convinced myself on the Lions more.
I think I like the Lions, like
Bears
because
and
it's
Lions
also,
make
it's
sense.
like okay, it's like from the Raiders' point of view, would you rather have DJ Moore or J-Mo Williams? Because I would rather have J-Mo Williams, and I also think the Bears are going to be better than the Lions in the coming years, so you're going to get better draft picks from that as well.
Maxx Crosby also, he just feels like he belongs in the NFC North, whatever fucking team it is, just send him to the North.
I think I'm looking
at
AFC.
He's a North guy.
I think I'm looking at it more on the receiving team. I think I'd rather do it if I'm the Bears. Like you get off the DJ Moore contract, and you've got Caleb Williams for cheap still. Like the Lions have some serious cap problems.
They have a lot of problems.
Like they've got a lot of guys they're paying a lot of money to. Like the Bears do not right
That's
now.
the problem when you freaking trade your quarterback for 3 first-round picks and then actually draft right. You don't know which guys you can actually sign.
The Bears are the best. And also like
Yeah.
DJ Moore, like with Bowers, like he could fit in there. So.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. All right, break.
I got some Tua trades for you. Now, to preface this, we're going to assume that Miami's eating a lot of this cap and a lot of this salary because there's really no other way to trade it.
Next year, this upcoming season, they basically have to eat the entire thing because it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then they're off it.
Yeah, but like to trade him, no team's going to pick up this salary. So they've got to eat all this cap. So because of that, whatever team gets him also is not going to be paying much for him.
Yeah.
So that's
okay,
the other side of the coin.
I'm sorry to keep it running, but like this was his 5th year in the league. Imagine if Miami just picked up that 5th option, never extended him. They just would not have to worry about it. Like they could just be like, all right, we could franchise tag him and trade him, or just bye fucking concussion boy.
Yeah. All right, the first one we're going to, we're going to do, I don't know where Kyler's going to go, but he's going somewhere, and Tua is coming to Arizona to replace Kyler Murray. They're not going to get a quarterback. You've got Marvin Harrison there.
To replace Brisket, you mean?
Or Brisket, yeah. You've got Trey McBride, Tua in the desert. What do we think?
That does not sound good. I've lost all faith for Tua, man. Like he got to think in quarterback, he seemed like such an intelligent guy, and that was part of his, his flair, his why you liked him as a QB. And now you're like, watch him at the podium. He's like, yeah, man, that was like a chill game. We were dope. And you're like, what the fuck am I watching? It is abysmal. I think what team was it? The Cardinals. I think the Cardinals. What they would give up for him is Kyler Murray.
I mean, yeah. God. I mean, they brought in Mike LaFleur, who was the Rams OC. The problem is like Tua a few years ago was so good, but like it just we're so far from that now.
We're very far from that.
And it's just
There's a lot of Mike McDaniel too.
And I feel like if Tua's gonna have any shot in the world, I think it's probably more of a team like Indy that can have a run game and some weapons and some help around him. I think in Arizona, I think he's just a work.
He needs a good culture around him.
I think he's a shittier lefty, more hurt Kyler. Like honestly, I think he gives you less dynamism. I think he's hurt all the time. I think he would be a dumpster fire for Arizona. I don't see the upside. I don't see the floor. I don't think the fans get into it. I don't think LaFleur likes it. I think it's just bad all around, even if Miami eats a lot of it. I don't get it at all.
I think the last good game Tua had was in Miami versus the Cowboys whenever we were there, front row.
Because even like, let's play it out.
2 years ago.
Best case, you get some sort of Tua revival. And then Tua's like, oh, okay, I threw for 30 touchdowns. Like, y'all should pay me now. I'm your guy. And then their dumbass front office, after paying Kyler years ago, is like, oh, okay, Tua kind of panned out. And then they pay him, and then we know how that's going to go. So, like, I don't see any winning scenario for Arizona if they get him.
Yeah, I don't think swapping a shit sandwich for a douche is the best idea.
The next one, we're going back to the Steel City, baby. They just keep pounding the table like they do. Tua Tagovailoa to the Steelers with Mike McCarthy.
All right, on this one, let me take this. A+. McCarthy's got his guy. This is who he wanted Dak to be. Okay? Now he's got DK, he's got Calvin Austin, And I'm going to give this a D grade, actually, because that would be an awful move. Why? That would literally be the Steelers recycling the moves they've done over and over again, but just worse. Just getting the shittiest guy in the draft. Nope, we're going to get the shittiest quarterback available in all of the NFL.
I think this is better than Arizona.
It is.
At least
It is.
You could maybe compete a little bit. The thing is, if I'm Tua, I actually like this a lot. Like, I've seen Mike McCarthy work with Aaron Rodgers, with Dak, like, produce solid offenses. They got a little bit to work with on offense. The defense should be good. So if I'm Tua, I'm actually pretty happy about this. This seems like a revival. But if you're Pittsburgh and you're their poor soul fans, like, you got to be fucking just wanting to shoot up the needle if you're getting Tua. I mean, you go from old man Rodgers to Mike McCarthy and now Tua.
Yeah,
and like,
CTE
and
Tua.
if it works out, oh, yeah, we go 10-7 and get bounced again in the wild card. If I'm the Steelers nation, I want to just bomb the city after this. I mean, this is terrible.
I will say
But for Tua, though, I think it'd be a win.
one slight thing, not even with Tua, but the Patriots that I think is underrated that you said is like, if they do end up targeting like a young quarterback, McCarthy is really good with young quarterbacks, like in developing them. Like no doubt, he helped Dak's game a lot. Even if there was some things Dak learned from his negligence in some ways, like he helps the young quarterback see the field and the game in a different way, and he helps them in the pre-huddle and at the line. I think he's really good for developing a quarterback, but I think the second year the quarterback is developed, get him the hell out of there. And just go with a more younger-minded offensive or defensive coach. It doesn't matter because your quarterback's developed, but I think McCarthy deserves his flowers for being a great quarterback developer.
Okay.
But, Tua, man, that'd be better than the Cardinals. That's the only thing I'll really say.
All right. How about
I said a bunch.
How about the Dolphins eating all this money, and they send him to the L.A. Rams to sit behind Matt Stafford for at least a season?
This might be the one thing that would work for him.
Yes, if I'm Tua, I'm looking at what Sam Darnold did with the Niners a few years ago, going behind an offensive guru, accepting that I'm not going to start and I'm just going to sit back and absorb all the football knowledge that I can to go make my redemption story. And the Rams would be a perfect place for him. Is he going to play? I don't know.
He could be the successor, though.
I don't. Maybe not.
If they like him enough, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're the Rams, like, you get a really good backup QB, and if you're Tua, you can absorb Sean McVay, arguably the best offensive mind in football, and then next season just sit on the pine, and next season go out and say, hey, whoever got an opening, I just read the playbook. I know McVay's, you just pull Darnold, and so I think it'd be a win-win if the Rams get him for cheap. Something happens to Stafford, throw him in for a couple games. He's going to be a good backup. Tua, you get to just absorb knowledge and let your brain heal for you.
I'd give that like an A for both because it's basically instead of just eating you're still eating his contract, but instead you're just letting him go to somewhere better and you're getting a late pick back rather than getting nothing back at all.
Yeah, a move like this seems like what should happen. Like, I don't think that Tua needs to go find another starting job anymore. Like, he needs to accept a backup. So I like these more.
But it sounds like you're saying him going to the Rams on the Rams side of it is just for him as a backup. You don't think there's any thing there as the successor? Because I do. Like, I think if he went to L.A., like, I think he would be viewed as the successor for Stafford.
I mean, there could be, but I'm assuming if he gets bought out, he's just going to be with L.A. for a year. And I think Stafford's probably got like another 2. So I don't know if the timelines would work.
Yeah, because the thing is, too, after that, I didn't even think about it, but they would have to pay his contract the years after that. But they could cut him with no cost, but if they kept him, they would have to pay him like $40 million the next 2 years to be the back, or to be if Stafford's gone, he'd be the starter. But that would be a 100% McVay. Unless
if I'm the Rams, I'm more like, because they got picks now. I'm going next draft. We get a kid in the first round, and then 2 years Stafford's gone, and then we have our successor.
Yeah, they're gonna be drafting like 29th the next year though.
No, but they have
they've shown a tenacity to trade up.
They also have someone's pick.
They have Atlanta's pick this year.
Yeah.
I could see them
have a
trading
pick
that.
next year,
or maybe you trade it. I don't know. But.
God, that trade sucks now for the Falcons. They literally traded James Pierce for that pick.
Yeah. All right. How about Tua to the Colts? They move off Danny. They bring in Tua with JT, Pittman, Downs, Warren, and that O-line.
I don't think Tua fits that offense. I mean, when Tua was right, it was an air raid, and it was also a very vertical passing game, deep threats. I mean, especially if Indy loses Alec Pierce. I mean, they got Pittman between the chains, Downs between the chains of Warren, short to intermediate. We're going to run the ball with JT. I just don't think he fits it. And also we saw with Indy too, Danny Dimes used his legs a good amount. And, if you get Tua in there with your Indy, Tua's legs are going to be useless. I think you need a Danny Dimes or someone that if it breaks down, he could go make something happen with his legs. Accuracy-wise, I think he'd be really good because they have these short to intermediate guys. But when we've seen Tua be good, it hasn't been in a run-heavy, offense like this.
It would almost be like an amplified version of what they had with like Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers, because like it seems like Steichen's only really good when his quarterback can run a little bit. So I think the offense would be kind of ran how those guys are. They did it, but a little bit more modern, getting the ball out a little quicker. But I just, I don't think he fits Steichen's system at all. I agree with Cole. But I'd give it like a B for both sides just for taking the shot, because like if they miss out on Danny Dimes.
I don't know. I think Steichen might like it. I mean, I don't know if Steichen's system is having a running quarterback, because I just think he's always had to have a running quarterback. Like Steichen's never, like if Tua went there, Tua would be the best pure passer he's ever had. It's not saying a whole lot, but like he wouldn't have had a guy with the accuracy of Tua. He's always had to have a guy who can run, or just some old dude who
you don't
can't do
think
anything.
Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers had the same accuracy at that point?
No, not at that point in their career. I mean, dude, Matt Ryan was horrific.
I mean, Tua was not even
He was
that
bad.
accurate. Tua hasn't been that accurate since 23. Like, I mean, he really hasn't been good at all. Since
But I mean, like if there was a coach who could, I think Steichen would be a guy who could get it out.
But
McDaniel's also a great offensive mind, though.
I would rather just go get Danny back, like personally. So
Yeah,
that's why I don't really.
yeah,
love it
and
for Indy.
he'd be a lot cheaper.
Again, though, for Tua, I think it would be great for Tua, because I think Tua could thrive, but I think for Indy, I'd rather go elsewhere.
And Danny would be a lot cheaper, and then you're missing him for maybe half a season, which would really suck. But like we said, you almost invested in him already with the Sauce Gardner trade and everything.
Okay. All right, last one. This is the gold standard, I think, for both Vikings.
That is interesting. That is very interesting. I think, because it's kind of like the Colts. They have a really good O-line, great defense, solid weapons. I think they would need to get
You do have the Tua Brian Flores dynamic.
They would
just saying. Just saying. Gotta deal with that.
They would need to go get Jeremiah Love or something, because I think they would really need a heavy run game for this to work with Tua. And Aaron Jones is on his last leg, and then who's the other guy? Jordan Mason. I almost said Mason Taylor. God, how did I mix that name up?
I actually like this for Minnesota, because, I mean, statistically, Kevin O'Connell's best season was with Kirk Cousins. And, you could make a case that Tua could be a lefty Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's not mobile at all, but, I mean, KOC system, you don't really need to be mobile.
Yeah.
The weapons are there. And the problem when they had these teams with Kirk is the defense was not that good. So, I mean, if the defense could pop back and, be top 10 and the offense can control the ball a little bit, Tua, we know he'd have great weapons in there. I think that could actually work. I like that move.
Yeah, so it's almost like the Colts, but like I said, Steichen wants a runner.
I'm not even saying Steichen wants a runner. I'm just saying, from what with the QBs we've seen work with these guys. Right?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you want something that you're used to working with? Why would you want to have to change up your whole scheme? Which the Cardinals or the Colts, they would have to. The Vikings, they wouldn't have to change anything. It would just be Tua integrating into it. I agree that would probably be the best fit. That would definitely be the best fit we've heard so far. Yeah.
I think that's the clear choice
if
he's on the move.
I just
and if you can get him for if you're Minnesota, if you can get him for a bag of peanuts,
I think he's an anomaly though. I have no idea where he's gonna go. I just feel like they're gonna cut him, and then because I don't think anyone's gonna give them more than a 6th round pick.
They should cut him. They should eat the dead cap and suck next year and draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Go get Arch, and then Quinn can deal with Arch again.
Yeah, right. All right, we're doing a Cam Ward first overall pick team tier list. So it's basically what first overall pick was drafted to the worst teams. our tiers. They're going from worst to best. It's going to be flaming bag of dog shit, shart, turd in a toilet bowl, clenched ass, and then just one wipe. One wipe. It's a good clean wipe. We like it.
All right. Who are the QBs?
All right. I'm going to just go more they're kind of out of order. I'll go chronologically. So the first one we're going to go with is Caleb Williams. He had one of the better situations. Do you want me to tell you stuff about it or no?
No.
Okay. First one is Caleb Williams, 2024 to the Chicago Bears. This was the pick that they got in the trade with the Panthers, where the Panthers took Bryce Young, number 1 overall the year before.
He's either clinched ass or one wiper.
I think he's a one wiper. I remember when people were talking about when he got picked 1 overall, that might look like the best situation ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like DJ Moore, you got Rome.
Well, the
They
defense was
redid the
actually
O-line.
good too.
Defense was
that
awesome.
year.
The only thing that could move this into clinched ass
Eberflus.
is Eberflus.
Yeah.
Who is more of a flaming
I think he's
turd
a.
on
I
the
think he's a
sidewalk.
one wiper though.
I do
because- I
too.
mean, yeah, like when I can think of like guys that got a great situation, he comes to mind naturally.
Yeah.
All right, one wiper.
People were
Starting
picking
off
them to
hot.
make the Super Bowl his rookie
Yeah.
year.
Next guy.
Super Bowl.
Nick Wright did.
Oh, he did.
Golly.
That's crazy.
All right, next guy, Bryce Young. Excuse me. Bryce Young, the other guy in this trade, he went to the Panthers, number 1 in 2023 after a trade with the Chicago Bears. They had a decent defense, decent O-line, but 0 weapons and a coach.
Yeah, I mean,
Was this Frank Reich?
Yep.
it's either I think it's shart or turd in the toilet. I mean,
It wasn't the worst.
we've seen worse. Like he had a competent defense. The defense was okay. Like, but I mean, he had no weapons on offense. He had Chuba. I think Chuba was a rookie though too, right? Frank Reich, who was a joke at that point. I mean, who was his one? Like,
Hang on. Give me 1 second, and I will pull it up.
I mean, his one couldn't have
Is
been.
it Thielen?
It was.
No, I don't know if that. But I don't know if that was his rookie year though.
Hang on. I have it all.
They had just moved off McCaffrey.
His wide receivers were Adam Thielen and DJ Chark, and his tight end was Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, he had an okay O line
pretty
though.
bad.
The defense was not bad. I feel like he's in the middle. Turd in the toilet, or shart.
I kind of want to go Shart.
Okay, we'll shart him. Yeah.
Well, Shart.
It's a fair shart.
I mean,
Yeah.
if your 2 receivers are old Adam Thielen and DJ Chark,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
pretty bad.
They had Burns, Derek Brown though. Like, I mean,
The defense was fine,
All
but-
of these guys had just like most of them had sharts and poops to work with.
Yeah, that's true.
And I completely went over Cam Ward, so I'm going to go Cam Ward next, 2025 pick to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I think he's flaming bag of dog poop. Head coached 6 games. Tony Pollard's your best offensive weapon. Your number 1, Calvin Ridley, played like 3 games.
Literally cried
Kyler-
in his introduction interview because
cried
he
in
loved
his-
Tennessee so much.
Ayo Maynor and Shamari Dykes sucked. The defense outside of Jeffrey Simmons was like a college defense. The O-line had no business at all either. I mean, from top to bottom, man, he didn't. I mean, Chigakonkwo, you could make the case, was his most talented weapon to work with, and that's really bad.
And he got absurd by the freaking Gunnar Helm, the Texas tight end
Yeah.
that wasn't even good.
Exactly.
Hey, Gunnar Helm's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, like Bryce, I think had a much better situation than Cam Ward did last year.
Now that we've talked through that, I agree because I'm comparing that tier to Trevor Lawrence. But when you consider his coach got fired, I don't even think he made it 6 games. I think he made it 4.
It was something, yeah. I mean,
when you consider that his coach made like 3-4 games and his number 1 was Eric Aomor and Calvin Ridley for 5 games, like
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I mean, he had no consistent, and the defense was bad. I mean, yeah, it was really bad.
All right. Next one, because we went from 23 to 25. Now it'd be 22. We're skipping that year. That was Trayvon Walker. The next one, Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021.
That's the most clear flaming bag of
Yeah,
dog
that
poop
team-
in the world.
Urban Meyer,
You want me to tell you the best player in their offense that year,
yeah,
aside from Trevor?
yeah.
Marvin Jones Jr.
I think James. Oh, was that when James Robinson broke out?
It was.
Yeah, he was good.
But that was a 1-year wonder. I can't really count him.
I mean,
like going into that year.
their
Like-
defense. I mean, who'd they have on?
Oh, on defense, they had Josh Allen, And then they had Miles Jack, Joe Schobert, who was a Cleveland Browns leading tackler at one point.
Shaquille Griffin.
Yeah, it was bad. They had Andrew Winghart.
It's a flaming bag of dog turd.
Yeah.
I think
the Urban Meyer thing just solidifies.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
and
think
then
Urban Meyer alone puts him.
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, that
It's
guy,
like the worst NFL head coach ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Next guy, Joe Burrow to the Cincinnati Bengals in 2022, coming off his Natty and Heisman wins.
2020.
2020, my bad. So 2020, Joe Burrow to Cincinnati out of LSU, coming off his Natty and his Heisman win. He did have an old man A.J. Green, a rookie T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd.
Joe
But outside
Mixon.
of that, and he had Joe Mixon, of course, my bad. But outside of that, there was not too much to work with.
Was Zach Taylor his first
Yeah.
year? Yeah. I mean,
And it's the Bengals, too.
yeah. I mean, he had, compared to these other guys, he actually had some real weapons to play around with.
They still
But
had
you were
Geno
also
Atkins.
but it's also the Bengals. Like
Yeah, but you gotta look. We're just
Dude,
talking about the talent and the
there were
coaching and
people
all
talking
that.
about him pulling an Eli Manning.
Yeah, but I mean, like, dude, I mean, he had T. Higgins, he had AJ Green was still kicking a little bit. That was Joe Mixon's prime right there.
Yeah, like
Geno Atkins on defense. Like they had some players.
Yeah, like AJ
no
played
line.
14 games
I mean,
that
but he
year.
hasn't had a line of I mean, the next year, what did they make? They made the Super Bowl.
They made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, and there was the 1 year removed from that roster.
So what are we thinking?
know?
Clinched ass or turd?
Yeah, and I'll say too.
I'm
Like,
just trying to
I wanna
think-
go
I'm trying to
turd.
think how bad is it really going to get? I mean,
well, let me say too. Like AJ was not that good that year. He played 14 games, but
T.
then
Higgins was a rookie.
yeah, and
Second
then but the
rounder.
next year AJ was in Arizona and he put up almost 900 yards. He had like 835.
he was still decent. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we go turd for him there.
Yeah, I think
Let's go turd.
I think that's a good turd in the toilet.
I think that has a lot more to do with just it being the Bengals.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next guy we got
Somebody's got to clinch their ass here.
2019. The Arizona Cardinals took Kyler Murray out of the University of Oklahoma after his Heisman win.
Now, David Johnson was
Johnson.
coming off his crazy year. Old man Fitzy. I think that was Christian Kirk's rookie year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they have Hollywood Brown?
No, he was drafted by the
Oh my
Bengals.
God,
But he was drafted by the
Charles-
Ravens.
Charles
right.
Clay.
I could be wrong.
Oh my God, the tight end.
The O-line was actually pretty decent, too. They were somewhat competitive that year. Were they?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
This feels like a clinched ass, maybe.
Who did they draft the next year? Well, okay, so they moved off Rosen
Yeah, he went to
to get Kyler, and then they.
Okay, so their defense. Give me one sec. So it was Rodney Gunter, Corey Peters, Zach Allen, who's a stud, Terrell Suggs on his last leg, Jordan Hicks, Hassan
Jordan
Reddick
Hicks was
was like in
good.
his second year, Patrick Pete was old,
Buda Baker.
Buda Baker was a stud. Like they,
Jordan Hicks was
they-
also
they
a
had-
stud.
Jordan Hicks was
they had
good.
3 really good players, one on each level: Zach Allen, Jordan Hicks, and Buda Baker.
And that's him and Cliff actually worked in.
They
This
did.
might be a one
Yeah,
wiper here. This was not a bad roster.
I think it's a clinched ass. I don't think it's as good as what Caleb
okay,
had.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
we gotta
that.
Put, yeah, I'm fine with that actually. Caleb's was better.
Because the only reason the Bears had the 1 pick was because they had the trade.
Yeah.
It wasn't even their own pick.
Yeah. You're right.
All right, the next one, 2018, the Cleveland Browns make a little bit of a surprise and take Baker Mayfield in his little Brett Favre draft scenario, sitting there with his family. Yeah, Baker to the Browns.
I think we're looking at Shart.
Do y'all want to hear the team at all?
I mean, they were horrible.
I mean,
I think they had Hugh Jackson.
They had
And
they had
were
Myles Garrett. That was also Denzel Ward's rookie year, and then they had
Antonio Callaway was his
Carlos
2.
Hyde.
The O-line was okay though.
Well, dude, they
Yeah.
were coming off of like
Njoku.
a 1-32 or 31 last
I like
2
it at
seasons.
Shard. I think Ward and T-Law are still worse.
Yeah.
Shard.
I do too.
I agree. No, Ward and T-Law had the worst
Yeah,
situations.
that's good.
Although Hugh Jackson is your coach.
Hugh Jackson's
Pretty
pretty bad.
rough.
Yeah.
Although they had Kitchens.
I think he was a year 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kitchen.
All right, and then we skip 2017. I'm pretty sure that's the year Eric Fisher was picked number 1. I could be
No,
wrong.
Fisher was like 14.
I think you're
Fisher's
right.
old.
I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
17 was
Doesn't
Garrett.
matter.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. What am I saying? Yeah, they literally,
17
it was
was
his second
Garrett.
year. Yeah. So that was Myles Garrett. So 2016, that would be Jared Goff to the traded up Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, that's bad. That was
That was when they had Jeff Fisher still. Yes, sir.
That was bad. They had no receivers. Maybe Bob Woods. I don't think Kupp was there yet.
I mean, they had Aaron
Brandon
Donald. They had a young
Cooks.
Aaron Donald. They had Robert Quinn, who was a stud on defense. Brockers, Alec Ogletree, Mark Barron. The defense was okay.
I mean, they were still. To me, the Jeff Fisher component puts it almost in the Urban Meyer. Like, Jeff Fisher, that was an all-time horrible year for a coach.
Yeah, but this team was more talented than that Jag team. They had a young Todd. I don't think did Todd Gurley play that year.
I think that was his rookie. No, Gurley was drafted in 2017, wasn't he?
No, he was. I think you just saw it. Can we get the roster here, Luke?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I thought Gurley was drafted in 2017. Or no, I think it was 15.
So they had Todd Gurley, Tavon Austin, Kenny Britt. O-line, I mean, they had Greg Robinson, who was a bust. Rob Havenstein, who's good. No one else.
Saffold was good.
Defense, they had Robert Quinn, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers,
Ogletree,
Tremaine Johnson, E.J.
T.J.
Gaines,
McConnell was
LaMarcus Joyner.
was okay.
Their defense, it was basically just Aaron Donald at that point.
I think we go Sharp.
I'm going with Shart. Yeah.
I think the Jeff Fisher component's pretty hard to put any higher.
Yeah, he
or
was
lower,
so
depending
bad,
on how you
man.
wanna look at it.
All right, the next one. We are jumping. Okay, just 1 year. 2015. Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Jameis Winston after he is the first or the second Heisman to win the first or second freshman to win the Heisman over Johnny? One of the two, doesn't matter, but they took Jameis Winston number 1. Tampa Bay Bucks.
I mean, Doug Martin, Mike Evans, VJax. I mean, that those skill positions for
That's
this
pretty
for
good.
this list is elite.
They also had Ollie Marpet as a rookie. He was a solid
Gerald
player for them for a
McCoy.
couple of years.
Levante
David.
David, Quan Alexander. They were all young, but I mean, still a spicy team. What was their record? That's probably what we should be looking at here too, huh?
We probably should.
So they
looking at that.
they were
How they
well,
did.
They were
Looking at their fifth.
Probably the most determinative factor.
well,
That's how good they did.
They ended up 6-10.
What are these other dude?
I think that's a turd. I think it's a turd. I think it could push to clinched ass, but I think it's a turd.
I think it might be clinched ass, man. Mike Evans, VJax, and I mean, that's when Doug Martin was Doug Martin too. Like, let's.
I mean, VJax was still a stud. Mike Evans was a young stud.
And
Levante
they had
David,
Levante,
Gerald
McCoy.
McCoy.
Like, they had some like dogs on that team.
All right, I'm good with that.
I know, like they had a lot of really good young players, but like they were a frisky team at that time. And I mean, that offense, even his rookie year, they put up real points. Like, James had like 40 picks, but I mean, like.
Yeah, but he had 40 touchdowns.
So
Okay,
you should probably look at the record.
Am I supposed to give y'all one or two more?
One more, I think. I think we're at 9.
Okay.
Yeah, one more.
Last and not least, the Indianapolis Colts take Andrew Luck, number 1 overall in 2012. What do y'all want to know about this team? I have their record.
Based
I have
off
their
my
roster.
memory, I mean, that was a long time ago, but I remember that team being terrible.
I thought that team was good. I
Was
mean,
it
they
good?
still had Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne, though,
They
was a
did.
shell of himself.
No, he
And they had
wasn't.
Donald Brown.
Reggie Wayne was
like
still a
14?
good player. Yeah,
You
Reggie
sure?
Wayne was still
They
a
had
good
him,
player.
I promise.
No, I believe you, but I'm like, was Reggie Wayne really doing?
They had a rookie,
Collie
Dwayne Allen.
was okay. Dwayne Allen was eh.
Oh yeah,
Luck
no,
made
you're
him-
right. This team went 11-5.
Yeah.
Yep, they're a one wiper.
Because this was the year Manning left.
Yep, their O line was built up. They
Yeah,
had-
and the
they had
only
Dwight
reason they
Freeney.
sucked is because Manning was out.
Yep, yeah, this is a one wiper.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Y'all want an extra one? One more?
I think 10's good.
Yeah.
All right, we got floor and ceiling comps for the top prospects in this year's NFL draft. I got number 1, Fernando Mendoza. As ceiling, I have it as a more athletic Matt Ryan. This guy, obviously, they got about the same build. He's very accurate. fundamentally, he's great. There's really like no cons with him, kind of like there was with Matt Ryan, kind of like a safe, pure pocket passer. But kind of like all new QBs now, they all got some mobility. We're not in 2004 where we have these statues at QB anymore. So in my mind, yeah, he's literally just Matt Ryan with a little more mobility as a ceiling, which is an MVP player. So, and then for my floor form, I have him as Geno Smith. Again, he probably meets a little closer to Geno athletically. Same build. They're both pretty accurate, have good arms. Not super strong arms, but decent arms. Kind of the same makeup. But again, like Geno, when he was with Seattle, kind of a guy that was a good game manager. And I feel like at the very least, Fernando Mendoza, he's not going to be a bust. But if he could, Geno Smith floor, game manager, dink and dunk, he's looking at averaging 220, 1.5 touchdowns a game. I feel like that's probably a pretty safe floor for this guy. Scouts have already come out and say that this guy probably has a very low bust rate. He probably will at least be this. So those are the floor and ceilings I got for him.
All right, yeah, at number 2. The number 2 prospect is Arvell Reese, the linebacker / edge out of Ohio State. This guy is a freak of nature. He is 6'4", 243 pounds, and he runs probably a sub 4.5 40. And he's got long arms. Like, he is exactly what you look for in a linebacker or edge prototype. He's insane. They used him as a weapon all year. I said earlier, but like Matt Patricia, he put him in this role. It's called the Otto, OTTO. It's where you're setting the edge, you're blitzing the passer, and then you're also going back in coverage. He wanted this guy to play free on the defense, have him develop and learn the game a lot better. This guy's just not like super instinctual. He is crazy athletic. He has the quickest get off, but like he gets lost in coverage sometimes, or sometimes he just gets so aggressive. He goes straight towards a gap and misses the whole play. And so his main thing is instinct. So my ceiling for him is Micah Parsons. If someone's going to figure out how to put him on the edge and really utilize him, like set the edge and rush the passer, seems like what he's good at, right? Because he's not good in coverage. So I think that's his peak. But if he's not able to really gain that full pass rusher for him, I think someone will try to keep sticking him at linebacker. And so I'd put his floor at like a Tremaine Edmonds if they're going to do that. But if someone is really going to try to utilize him and they really can't, and they keep using that to the fullest extent, and they're like, all right, we're going to play you all over until you literally suck, then he's Isaiah Simmons. So my floor would be like, if he's going to play linebacker, he'll be like a Tremaine Edmonds, a solid player, couple-time Pro Bowler, make a couple highlight plays, 2 or 3 here and there over the season. But if they're going to stay at edge, his floor is like an Isaiah Simmons, like some kind of weird hybrid that just does not work out.
Number 3, Jeremiah Love. Probably the best pure prospect in the class. 6 feet tall, 214 pounds. Fantastic pass catcher. He's a state champion sprinter. He's going to projected to run about a 4.4 40. His vision and elusiveness are his top traits. The guy's just an all-around 3-down stud back. Scouts don't miss on running backs like this. He's been one of the top running backs in college football for multiple years now. His ceiling for me is a faster Le'Veon Bell.
Ooh.
The vision and elusiveness is similar, and we all know that was Le'Veon Bell's best quality, is how he could find holes. Jeremiah Love has shown similar capability there. He's faster than Lev Bell, though. Now, Lev Bell's a little bigger. Lev Bell sits at 6'1", 225. So Jeremiah Love's a little bit smaller at 6 feet, 215. He runs a similar style, though. He's got more burst. I think if he really hits his full potential, you're going to see a faster, little bit smaller version of Le'Veon Bell, and a guy who can hit all 3 levels of the passing game, too. Like, he's going to be a monster out of the backfield, and he's been a monster out of the backfield for Notre Dame. For his floor, with a guy this talented, it's pretty hard to give him a low floor. I went with Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne sits at 5'11", 215. He runs a 4.42. He's a fantastic pass catcher as well. I don't really see a world where Jeremiah Love is worse than Travis Etienne, who's probably a top 12 to 15 back if we're stretching it. I think with how good running backs are out of school now and how good the scouting is on these guys, Jeremiah Love's floor is really high. And I think we're looking at like a Travis Etienne, a top 15 back who's going to be a great pass catcher, who's fast, and he's still going to be a 3-down back.
I like that a lot. He's also insanely strong. I think
he's a powerful runner.
He's
He
so
doesn't
good.
He's an
finish.
animal.
He doesn't finish runs like a Marshawn Lynch or like
But he can break away like them.
I
yeah.
originally wanted to put Zeke, but I looked at a lot of his draft stuff, and like he's not like a monster between the tackles like a Gurley or a Zeke is, and he doesn't finish runs as hard, but he makes up for it with his speed, his elusiveness, and his pass catching.
Kind of like a Gibbs.
So Gibbs was another one that kept popping up, but Gibbs, the size comparison doesn't make sense. Like Gibbs is Gibbs is who everyone compares him to, but Gibbs is 5'9", 200. Like
Gibbs only 5'9".
yeah, he's only
he's
5'9".
small.
Like Love is 6 foot 215, which
he's a
means
battery ram.
he's gonna be like 220 when he's playing. And so like I wanted to go, but he's got the speed of Gibbs. That's why like a faster Lev Bell with like as his ceiling, like best case scenario, and a faster Lev Bell is like a clear Hall of Famer.
Is his patience? Does he have like the left belt?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
His vision's crazy.
He's going to be
vision,
really good.
I think is like one of like the most underrated things. The Super Bowl yesterday, I don't know if you noticed, but Kenneth Walker had a few plays, and I was saying
He
this
did
to
the Lev Bell.
I was
Yeah.
like, dude, that looks like Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon
he
Bell,
completely just stopped.
he just
froze.
stops,
and then let the line,
and then pop.
That is
Yeah.
the coolest shit. I love that.
There's never been a running back I enjoyed watching more than Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, that
I
patience.
loved watching him run.
You can't
It was
teach
awesome.
that. You can't teach
No.
that. You can't be born. It's not physical. It's like it's chess on the field as the plays dissolve.
To have the
Like,
comfortability,
I love watching that.
Like to have the comfortability to do that in the
Yeah.
NFL, to where you're so comfortable in your own skill set that I'm gonna just stand, and wait for a hole to open up and then pop through it and crush people is crazy.
It's cool to see like the IQ of a running. Like we see it with QBs and like
Yeah.
Brady
The
or
patience.
But with running backs, like that's the highest IQ
Oh, God, yeah.
capabilities right
Yeah.
there. And like, there's certain guys out like if Travion Henderson had that kind of patience, oh my God, he'd be a monster.
I think Trayvon Henderson's a dumbass running.
No,
back.
he runs into the
he
just
just runs
into the
straight
line,
into a wall.
Yeah.
And-
Well,
and
most running backs do.
we also
Yeah,
we have
like-
to give a lot of them benefit of the doubt because a lot of them don't have O lines like that.
Yeah.
Like
No.
but,
But, like-
yes, he is.
But like,
special.
can you imagine if Le'Veon Bell? Because I think he ran like a 4.6.
Yeah.
Like like Jeremiah Love, he won the state championship in high school as a senior.
Yeah.
As a sprinter. I think he ran a 10.67.
and he's a tank.
And he's a tank.
He's kind of Saquon-y, you know?
So he's not as big. Like he's
not as big?
He's 214 right now, which
Okay.
means he'll probably be playing in the NFL at 220.
Yeah.
And like Saquon and I wanted to do Saquon and Zeke, but they were bigger coming out of school, so that's why I went. Lev Bell was actually bigger than both, but like the vision made more sense with how he runs and like his skill set made more sense
like
there,
that.
and as a pass catcher because like
Yeah.
Lev Bell was so good out of the backfield.
I like it. All right, at number 4, the fourth prospect here, we got David Bailey out of the University of Texas Tech. This guy's
Wreck 'em, baby.
This one's interesting.
This guy's a Red Raider. So this guy we see in mocks, he goes anywhere to 2, and then in some mocks you may see him fall to like 12, 13. Really, he's kind of on the board in a lot of different spots. And this guy, they say he's probably the best just pure pass rusher in the draft, but he does have some concerns of being able to stop the run. And then also kind of like your guy Reese is like kind of they've questioned like what's his exact role? Like is he going to be an off-ball guy? Is he going to just strictly rush the pass? What is that going to look like at the next level? But at Tech, he was an elite pass rusher, an anchor or not an anchor in the run game, but really this guy, it's his speed and athleticism and just he has all the physical tools. We see guys like this come out every year. Probably like 6, 7 out of 10, they're really good. But then we see every, couple years, it's like we'll get a Deion Jordan type like this that just falls on its face and they can't put it together. But when I made my ceiling, and I think you said this, but I had him compared to Micah Parsons, they're both just freak athletes. They're pure pass rushers. Their roles were kind of like undefined. What's he going to do here? But Yeah, and then the run game as well with him and Micah. There were some question marks there. But that's his ceiling. And then his floor, I had it as D Ford. So D Ford, when he was with the Chiefs, really good pass rusher. Could probably still get you 7 or 8 sacks a season, but he's probably going to be a liability in the run game.
Only thing he does, yeah.
This guy might just be like a third down pass rushing specialist. But there's that should be at least his floor. But if you're taking him in the top 5, you'd hope he's on the Micah level, or the guy that's getting 15 sacks and also a badass run stopper. So.
He's a very he passes the eye test with flying colors.
Yeah,
he's great.
I want
awesome.
the Cowboys to get this guy.
Yeah,
He's not. Yeah, I doubt he falls. I watched almost every Tech game because I went there. He's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
destroys
Wrecks
tackles.
havoc.
I mean, in that Oregon game too, I know Tech got creamed.
no, he was amazing.
he
in that
was
game.
so good.
He was amazing.
He
Yeah.
destroyed their tackles the entire
No
game.
gloves or anything. Yeah,
And
he looked.
he has been
looked-
flying up these
Oh
boards.
God, Dude, well,
Yeah.
he like you said, he's the best pure pass rusher. Like all
Yeah.
these other guys, like Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, they're kind of like those hybrids that can do both inside linebacker, outside linebacker. He's gonna be a pass rushing
Oh yeah,
specialist.
he'll be an edge.
When I think this he's got the highest upside of any defender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To me,
and second
to me,
to my guy, and that's up next.
he's more of like because Micah to me is like he can do the pass rushing, but he's also so good at other stuff as like a hybrid. Bailey to me is more of like the specialized pass rusher. Like that's all he's gonna do, and he's just gonna be awesome at like a TJ Watt, a Maxx Crosby, an Aiden Hutchinson because he's bigger too. He's a big guy. Like he's gonna just line up. Like you can put him down as a 4-3 end, or you could do 3-4 and put him as the outside backer. But I think even as a 4-3 end, he's big enough to play that D end role and just hammer tackles.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 2. So he's like Micah's size.
Yeah.
6'3", 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll go next guy, number 5. I think this is the best player in the entire draft. Caleb Downs, Ohio State's free safety. If the safety position was valued higher, like if it was valued like even a middle linebacker or a D tackle or something, he would go number 1 in the draft. He is such a safe and a special player. He was at Alabama. He was a consensus freshman All-American, transferred to Ohio State, was a All-American, and then the next year he was an All-American and the Defensive Player of the Year. He is freaking bonkers on the field. Like I said, the only problem is that the NFL doesn't value safety higher. This guy literally excels in every single category of playing football. The only thing he doesn't do absolutely correct is he not overcompensates, but he just goes for the big hit and the big play a couple too many times. He'll try to go for the big hit, and it'll take him a little bit longer to wrap someone up, or he won't wrap them up correctly. But he can still hold on to their ankle for a bit. But that's his only flaw is he just tries to go for the big hit too many times. I'm going to go with my floor first because both my comparisons are insane because I think this guy is going to be a gold jacket wearer, a Hall of Famer. I am in full belief that this guy is going to be an all-timer. My floor for him is Eric Berry. Eric Berry is like an all-time player if he stayed healthy. I think the only thing holding Caleb Downs back would be health and health reasons. And then like Eric Berry, if you had some crazy circumstances where you got cancer or something and you literally couldn't play for years. Eric Berry was healthy for 5 seasons. All 5 seasons he was a Pro Bowler. 3 out of those 5 seasons, he was a first-team All-Pro player. That's like literally how much I believe in Caleb Downs. I think he's going to be insane. The only 2 years he wasn't an All-Pro when he was healthy was his first 2 years, I believe. Or it was his first year and then like his third year when he was partially out. He only played like 14 games. But my ceiling for him, as you can imagine, is Ed Reed. I think this guy could be the greatest safety of all time. It's hard to match Ed Reed. You have to be on some insane teams. You have to carry those teams and encourage those teams and build those teams up, coach them. You get all the above. But I believe in Caleb Downs. He's been a winner everywhere he's gone. He has been the best player everywhere he's gone. He has literally shown nothing but just tenacity and love for the game. I love this player so much.
Oh shit, my bad. Let me throw this ad in real quick here. I forgot to say it.
You want me to do him for Caleb?
No, I'll just have the editor go do it on this. Let me take it out of there. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna put this ad in for David Bailey to go 4th overall. On Cauchy, he's at 29%, so you could over 3x your money. Cauchy's legal in all 50 states. Go check him out.
No, Luke, I agree. Caleb Downs is the number one player in this class. It's positional value, which is why he's not going in the top 3. But you're right. If he played D-end, if he played cornerback, if he played left tackle, he's the number one player in the draft.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, like, I feel like a few years ago, we, like, running backs and safeties and these devalued positions kind of started dropping. Like, we see, like, a Derwin James go.
Yeah.
in
Kyle
the teens.
Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton
went 12.
go at 14. And then we started to
14.
see some. And now it's kind of flipping up again. We're like, these guys are going back in the top. Because they're surefire plays. Like,
That's what Jamal Adams will do to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you take Jamal Adams 6 and he sucks. All right, 6.
He was good as rookie, like 2 years.
Yeah.
Then he got that contract extension
he went
and
for 2
sucked.
first-round picks.
Yeah, he did.
That was the one move on John Schneider's ledger that doesn't look
I
very
wonder if
good.
that was a Pete Carroll thing, though.
Probably. That's the straw that broke Campbell's
Right,
back.
that's
Schneider
gotta
was like,
be.
I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, Reuben Bain, number 6 player on the board.
I love him.
Reuben Bain, like David Bailey, is flying up boards, especially after the college football playoff. I mean, he led the Hurricanes to the championship game and almost won it for him. He was fantastic in the playoff. He's 6'3", 270. He's a dense, compact player. He's not super tall. He's not skinny like some of these modern-day edge rushers. He's more of that old school, shorter, compact D-end. He's got an elite first step. His hand skills are off the charts. His one thing, he struggles with consistency a little bit, and I think you saw it throughout this season when he's on. He looks like the best player in college football. He had games where he kind of just took his foot
Gets
off
gassed,
the pedal.
yeah.
His ceiling for me is Dwight Freeney. He's a Hall of Fame level talent. Dwight Freeney was 6'2", 270. A lot of the same characteristics with Freeney. That first step, he's a compact player. The hand skills are off the charts. If Reuben Bain hits his potential, you're looking at a guy who could have 120 career sacks like Dwight Freeney and be a Hall of Famer. Like they're the same build. They have the same skill sets. However, with a guy like that where you're 6'3", 270, and you have consistency concerns, your floor is going to be a little bit lower. You're not the freak athlete. You're not the super consistent guy. So for my floor, I put Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett, 6'3", 260, drafted to the Eagles probably 7 years back. Ton of talent. He could never put it together, though, consistently throughout the year. He always kind of middled at that like 5 to 7 sack range. But I think that's his floor, a rotational pass rusher that can come in and make really big plays on key downs, but he's never going to put it together for you for an entire season. But his ceiling is a top-tier edge rusher for a decade in this league. Like, that's the talent he has. That's the skill set he has. The consistency concerns at that size are going to be the issue, and whether he figures that out or not is going to be the difference between him being a rotational pass rusher in the league to being a Hall of Fame level pass rusher in the league.
I like it. At number 7, we got Spencer Fano out of Utah. They have him ranked as the best tackle in this draft. This guy, pretty much what the scouting report says, he's 6'6", 308. He's really athletic. He's got all of the tools. He's not one of these kind of just like big bulldozer linemen that, like at DeJuan Jones, that kind of steps in and plays bully ball and can overpower you. He's very technically sound. He's very athletic, especially for that size. He's got a good first step. He's got a good anchor. He's really good with athletic rushers because of his mobility and really just his athleticism. And when I compared him to someone, I compared him to Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell was another guy. Top pick. His build, though, was a little bit to be determined. But really what you're looking for with these kind of guys is just someone that's really athletic at that size. If you're really athletic at that size and you're coordinated, you're fundamental, and you're not just a bully ball guy, but you have the frame to then put on the weight to become an elite guy. And that's what's there for him. It's really he just is going to need to put on a little bit more muscle and a little more size. And if he's able to do that, he's probably going to be an elite tackle for whatever team gets him. And he's also a complete stud in the run game. So from what they've said, he should be able to transition to the run game easily. It's just going to be if he gets overpowered by bigger edge rushers at the other level, he's able to not put on size. And then for his floor, I have him as a Terrence Steele, another guy who's big and nimble, but he kind of can get pushed around a little bit. Terrence Steele's also really solid in the run game, but again can struggle in pass pro if he's facing some more athletic kind of freak D ends, and that's really the floor for Fano too. If he's not able to kind of put on some more muscle and weight, he could be a guy that gets kind of pushed around a little bit and potentially exposed.
Yeah. Next guy we got is also another offensive tackle, Francis Mauigoa. I don't think I'm saying that right. The tackle out of Miami. This guy was also on the Miami national championship appearing team. He was a huge part of their O-line. If you go back and watch the one play where Carson Beck in the semis is running for that touchdown to win the game, Francis is like doing textbook blocking. Like that is like exactly what you want out of a player. This guy, he's got light feet, he's got heavy hands, he's an insane athlete, but unlike Fano, he's a little bit technically not as sound, but he's like every single thing that you want in a tackle. I mean, like a project, if you have a good O-line coach, this is the guy you want to go and get. Like, I think he's going to end up going top 5 because there's so many offensive line hungry teams. And so for him, I have my ceiling for him is at someone like Trent Williams. He could be an all-timer. He could be like a Penei Sewell, Trent Williams, consensus, like all-pro almost every single year. But the thing is, he's got to get his technique down, and he's got to put his head down, he's 6'6", 330 already. Like, he's big. He is strong. He was also, just like Caleb Downs, he started as a freshman every single game. He was on the All-American freshman team, and then, again, he's on the All-American team as a junior graduating. He's a beast. He's been in the consensus top of his draft since after he played his freshman year. He should be a monster unless he just goes to the completely wrong situation, which would be someone like his floor. I'm putting as Taylor Lewan, someone who had all the traits but just did not put everything together, didn't take the game serious enough. It's being for O-linemen in the NFL. You could have all the size in the world, but it's about being technically sound and knowing the playbook and just following the offense's lead. And Taylor Lewan did not do that. He did not ever get technically sound like that. He still made like 2 Pro Bowls. And that's that's the least I expect out of this guy. I have very high hopes for him. This is a really great top of the draft class, especially for defense. But these 2 O linemen really help complete it. And that's my grade on Francis.
Number 9. Now we're going off ESPN rankings. So ESPN has Jordan Tyson as the number 1 receiver. Whether you think it's Malachi Lemon or whether you think it's Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson's number 1 on ESPN. 6'2", 200 pounds, fantastic route runner. He can play every position. He can play in the slot. He can play the X role where he's working on the corner outside. He's projected to run roughly about a 4.5. Concerns are injuries. He's had a lot of injuries throughout his college career, and he had a lot of drops in 2024. Given all that, I put his ceiling at CeeDee Lamb. He's a silky smooth route runner, great after the catch. They are literally the exact same size. 6'2", exactly 200 pounds. Perfectly the same, and they both, he's projected to run a 4.5. CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.51. So metrically, they're the exact same. Fantastic route runners, can hit at all 3 levels, and can play any position, whether it's slot, X, Y, doesn't matter. However, because of the injuries and the drops and the volatility of the receiver position, I put his floor at Quentin Johnson. We see top 10 receivers bust all the time. Quentin Johnson wasn't top 10, but he was, the 18th pick, 19th pick or something?
Just right around there, yeah.
So, you see these top... we saw it with the John Ross draft. We saw it with Corey Davis. We saw it with Kevin White. We see it all the time with receivers drafted this high.
Kevin White.
They bust a lot. And so I put his floor that low at Quentin Johnson. Again, similar size, similar build, similar metrics. Can they put it all together with the drops and the injuries? If he can, I think we're looking at like a top 5 receiver in the league like CeeDee Lamb. Hits all the routes, all that. If he can't be consistent, if he keeps having issues with drops and injuries, I think we're looking at a guy like Quentin Johnson, who's more known for drops than anything else in his career. But overall, I think he's going to be a fantastic player. And I think the best attribute about him is his ability to play all over the field and his ability after the catch, which reminds me so much of CeeDee. Like, looking at all of his draft stock and how everybody's talking about him and looking at some of his game stuff, like, he reminds me a lot of CeeDee with the ball in his hand and moving in those intermediate routes, just destroying corners, destroying safeties, and destroying linebackers if they get lined up against him, just absolutely cooking them on those short to intermediate routes and burning them in man coverage.
I like it.
What's his floor? Oh, yeah, you said Quentin.
Quentin Johnson.
I like it. I think I love doing that draft stuff, dude.
All right, last guy up here, Sonny Styles. ESPN has him ranked as the 10th best player in this draft. This guy, Ohio State, used to be a safety, transitioned to linebacker, super athletic. He's at 6'4", 240. He's great in coverage. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife type of linebacker. The only real concerns for him are his size. You know, he is a former safety that's now a linebacker and potentially shedding blocks, you know, especially when these guards in the NFL get downhill running, you know, being able to shed them. But he showed good ability at the college level to be able to stop the run. He excelled in zone coverage. He could rush a little bit too. He really does everything.
Him and Arvell were like, they might have been the 2 best prospects in the draft, and they just kind of rubbed off on each other because they were next to each other.
Yeah. I mean, they were insane. And my ceiling for him is Fred Warner. He's an inch taller than Fred Warner, if that really matters. But, I mean, same thing, right? But, I mean, Fred Warner, he's an inside linebacker, and that's really the only reason that Sonny's not ranked in the top 5 is because he doesn't really rush the passer, and he's listed as an inside linebacker. But just like Fred, crazy athletic, crazy good in coverage. He's a guy that could cover your running back out of the backfield. He can go guard a George Kittle. He could even go guard some receivers. He could do a little bit of everything, and he's also going to be able to stuff up the run if need be. So that's the ceiling for him is a Fred Warner. In the floor, you touched on this guy's an Isaiah Simmons. I feel like Isaiah Simmons, when he was coming out of Clemson, we kind of saw this same sort of hype. Both these guys were national contenders. Isaiah Simmons was, you know, a rangy, kind of skinnier, you know, Swiss Army knife, do-it-all linebacker.
Yeah, because he was a linebacker coming out, and then they tried to turn him to a safety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Isaiah Simmons just really couldn't ever find his footing, couldn't find his role, and he really kind of was a bust for what he was picked at. And that would be my only fear here is I would hope that Sonny doesn't go to a DC that tries to maybe like get cute with it and put him in maybe like a rushing role sometimes and then have him in coverage and then at the run stop. I think we figured out Ohio State what this guy's best at. Just stick him in the middle of the defense and let him do what he does best and just cover everything and be a part of the facet in every facet of the game. And I think that's what he's doing. I think he's going to be a really good player. But, yeah, ceiling, Fred, floor, Isaiah.
Is he not much of a pass rusher?
No, he's an inside linebacker.
But it's also because they have so many pass rushers.
Yeah, I mean he didn't rush a lot. I don't think
he probably could.
Yeah, I don't think Ohio he might be able to do that.
Okay.
That's the thing, he could do everything. Ohio State didn't use him a lot in that regard of the field, but I mean that could be something the next level. That whatever DC, he's really kind of guy that DC could play with him and see what he's good at because he's a crazy build. He's a former safety at 6'5" and now
my dream is somehow get him or Downs at 12. And then, I mean, it would be a dream if Mansour Delane fell to 20, but that's not going to happen. So I'm like, one of those 3 at 12, and then another defender at 20.
I think I want some. I mean, I think Hemman Overshown would be fucking
exactly
nasty.
My only thing is, I feel like
Caleb Downs is ideal.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him. I mean, he could though, maybe, but
just because.
All right, do we got anything else? Episode 6.
I think that's it.
All right.
It was a really good NFL season, you know.
interesting playoffs. We didn't have all the quarterback hopefuls we assumed at the beginning of the season, but it still made for an entertaining season.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all heard it here. Episode 6 in the books, baby. Boom.